Hello, welcome guys. Welcome to the late night free for all of Debating Woes, episode 21. I want to thank you guys out there who have been hanging with us all night. Please like, share, subscribe, and definitely hit that donate button down there because that's what keeps all this game running. We're going to sit here and go roll into our topics now. I'll post a link out there for the people who are just now getting over there. There you go. The link has been posted. Now you can come on in here. That way you can talk about what you want, or you can sit here and watch Patrick dance around. I don't know what he's dancing to, but I should know. I hope he's working on the intro to the show. Like I said. So the link has been posted. Everybody get at me. Go on in. That way you can talk about that. We got the mad Black Lives Matter woman in the building. You have to watch out for her. She loves to disrupt things. That's exactly what Bernie Sanders said. Right, Bernie? Did you get Bernie's autograph while you were there?
I like Bernie. Bernie, yeah, I don't think Bernie was going to make it though.
Well, I liked him too.
Bernie. I think Bernie wouldn't make it. He's a little bit, well, at least he looks like he's about 85, 90.
I love how they say that, but to me, he was a cool. I mean.
Oh, no, I like Bernie. I like him.
I'd rather have Bernie than the other two. I hate to say that, even though I wasn't a Bernie supporter, but I think they're all idiots.
Our political process is a farce, really. So I think it's all set up. Hillary will be the next prez.
All right.
Hey, Patrick.
Oh.
Yeah, cool.
He's probably over there dancing.
Patrick, you're not hanging out with the swimmers, right?
Nah, I travel in a totally different pack. They were stupid. They should have been in a hotel that time of night anyway. That's why everybody else was in a hotel that time of night. The swimmers. They was out like 3 in the morning doing all that dumb shit, man.
Yeah, telling lies.
But you know how it goes. As soon as they told their story, everybody believed they ass, but I ain't gonna go into that.
Of course. Of course. This dude, 32 years old. They're like, oh, he's just a kid over there having fun. Are you serious?
Right.
And they were trying to criminalize Gabby because she didn't put her place her hand over her heart during the anthem.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, we already know what that's about.
Alrighty, pop the shit out here. I say everybody was sitting here rushing. They're still in the old hangout still. Everybody was still in there. They're still in the old hangout.
Oh. What time is it over there, Patrick?
5:09.
In the morning?
Same time. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Great.
4:09 here.
Yeah, 4:09 says an hour. Okay. I don't know how all our topics always come down to black issues. I guess because we're all black. I guess I don't know.
No, I think because people realize there are issues.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like this though. At least we're talking about our issues and try to say there wasn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Wasn't any issues. And that's what bothers me more than anything. People say, oh, there weren't any issues. Free for all. So basically, if you want to come in and talk about something, you can. Or you can type in the chat box what you want to talk about because we can see what you're typing.
Oh, I had an interesting debate with someone, and it was over something so stupid. It's like one of those things that's transparent, but I don't know why people don't see it. So you know people always complain about people buying Jordans and shit, right? Like Jordans.
Yes.
$170 pair of shoes, right? I can name 10 brands of shoes. I can name 10 brands of shoes and other things that people buy that cost more than that. So why are people always mad about Jordans? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot of there was a lot of people saying that he doesn't support the black community. And you know how
most America doesn't. So I don't get the point.
Right. I don't somebody That's just the argument I hear all the time. They're like, well, Jordan doesn't support the community, and we do all this stuff, and then back when people were getting shot, and everybody just attacked the Jordan for some reason. And you know how people used to stand in. I don't know if they still do that, like stand in line overnight. It's like that, when a new phone comes out or something.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
That's my thing. Like you just said, Chess, and I said that. I was like, how come people who stand in line for Black Friday don't get criticized the way, people who stand in line for Jordans do? And you know what the funny thing is? Those are older people, the ones who are criticizing the young people for buying Jordans. But they'll stand in line on Thanksgiving instead of being with their families to buy a TV.
Yep.
Well, we already know
cliche
why.
Argument. Yeah, it's just a cliche argument.
Oh, I know why it is, but I don't want to go back down that road and end up in that same conversation we just had.
It's a useless conversation.
Right. Yeah, we just talk about it in general. Just people are ignorant. What I'll say like this, because I watch a lot of people, they do that crap, and especially like they're in areas where it God dog, look like somebody will come up and rob you. You're sitting here waiting here in the most drug-infested city, East Cleveland, nearby. And I mean, they got 4 cops on payroll. They can't even pay to get their street light fixed. And it's like 6, 7 of y'all camping out to buy shoes. For real? I mean,
yeah.
I think I've never bought a pair of Jordans. Let me take that back.
I think that is.
I've never bought a pair of Jordans for me in my life.
Like, Dre, I get what you're saying about that situation, but again, it's going back to what I said the last show. When people make blanket statements like people who stand in line to buy Jordans are stupid, but why are they stupid? They're not stupid for Black Friday shopping.
Well, think about it. The people that stand in line for Jordans. They have a place where they're waiting outside a line at least once a month. They're coming out with a new shoe or something like that.
But that doesn't mean every person that you see is waiting in line every month.
Hey, you're right. You're right. But I think the focus should be on what we do put value in. So let's not focus on the fact that they take advantage of a sale. Yes, who wouldn't do that? But let's focus on what we. Well, you said Black Friday sale. That's the only reason why I made that reference. But my point is that I'm saying, like, why do we put value in the wrong things? Whether it's shoes, whether it's rims, whether it's whatever. Why do we choose to put value in the wrong things?
But this is my thing, though. I think there's different kinds of value. You have monetary value.
True.
That's a monetary value. And if you idolize Jordan, you grew up watching Jordan. I buy Jordans because I love Jordan. I love the image of Jordan. I don't buy them because I want to be cool. I buy because I idolize Jordan. And what people understand is when you see those dudes who stand in line, the first ones to buy Jordans, those aren't regular just dudes who are like, hey, I want to buy a pair of Jordans to be cool. Those are guys who mostly collect Jordans. Right, that's why. So it's just like a car show. It's just like a car show. The first day when them gates open at 9 a.m., the first people at the gate who've been standing in line, they are car collectors. They're not the guys going to see cool cars. They're car collectors. It's the same thing.
But do you think that what you're saying with the car collectors is consistent with what we see in the hood, where you got to do with a car that ain't about?
Y'all talking about people in the hood. Most people who buying Jordans aren't in the hood.
Let me say exhibit these behaviors. Let's not say where they're located. Let's say that the people that tend to exhibit these behaviors where their values are misplaced tend to display their value through objects.
Sorry, I didn't mean to mute you. Sorry, Eric, I didn't mean to mute you. You found us, man. Where you been? Sorry to interrupt you guys. I had to say hi to man Eric right there.
Yeah,
how you doing, Eric?
I'm all right.
Oh, what's up, OG Eric? What's up, man?
I know you're subscribed, aren't you, Eric? You're subscribed, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that way.
Eric, so let me go hit this button real quick.
No, to tell Eric to subscribe. We're telling you guys out there to like, share, subscribe, and definitely hit that donate button down there. There we go.
Yeah, I was hanging out with my wife yesterday. We did the domestic thing, cleaning up the crib, and then we went out and had dinner or whatnot. So that's why I wasn't here.
Right. That's good. That's good.
I guess.
How do I know what's in their bank account? Hey, I'm pretty sure right about now it's more than what's in mine.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me? Oh, yeah.
Yes, we can.
But I gotta I gotta give Eric some credit. Eric is always level-headed, man. Y'all gotta understand. I've been listening to these hangouts for like a couple months, man. I just happen to be at work, and I'm listening. I'm sitting at my desk listening to my headphones, and I just happen upon this stuff. And Eric
And
is
who's the
always
best host that
level-headed.
you've heard so far?
I like you, man. That's why I'm over here, man. I said Andre
Okay.
seemed like a cool dude.
He's
I
got
said Andre
fans.
seemed like a cool dude, man. He got a level head. He's not leaning one way or the other, except when it comes to child support.
Oh yeah,
But
that's when it comes. Just when it comes. But my thing is this. My thing is you. I have a. I don't even know if it's really child support. I have a thing about putting people in jail for dumb shit. You know,
yeah,
that's the thing like that. I think that you should even.
That's
If,
feminism.
Hey,
well, maybe it is.
let me
But
throw
you should
something
still
out
be able to
there.
put people in jail for dumb shit, or if you are going to put them in jail and you're going to keep them in jail for a long time, and if they say, well, look, instead of going to
Excuse me.
jail for 3 years, I'd rather die, you should just let them go ahead and allow them to die.
Hey, tell them what y'all think about this on the child support tip. A friend of mine and I were talking about child support, like being based off of what it actually costs to rear a child. So, like, we got all these scientists, right? And there
Right.
has to be some type of monetary formula where we can say, because here's the deal, this is what we know. We know that there are people that are raising children on $15,000 a year because that's what's poverty in America, right? But it's also people
Right.
making millions and they're rearing the same child as far as a human being's needs, right? So what I believe as far as child support is concerned, we should be able to come up with a round figure that tells us exactly what it takes, right? Now, here's the deal. The concern that everybody has is, and the argument I always hear is that we always like to give the big extremes, like what about Dwayne Wade, having to pay $30,000? Well, no, I'm talking about the regular dude, right? So what I mean by regular dude is like you take a 25% of any man's income is going to hurt him, right? But if you set a number that across the board, this is what you have to pay if you choose to have a child and not be directly have them in your household. I believe that would clear up a lot of shit too, because it would eliminate people just manipulating a system, because it would be void of manipulation, because it's a calculated number for everybody on what it takes to rear a child. Let me know y'all's thoughts on that.
I agree with you, man. You should just take a national minimum wage average and base your formula off that. I don't give a damn if you make 10 million a year or you make 10,000 a year. Whatever the fuck the national average is for minimum wage, that's how you say it.
No. I'm saying specifically looking at this it takes this much food. It takes this amount of clothing. Like being as scientific as possible with it.
Damien.
As far as what it takes to raise a child.
Damien.
Go ahead. Yes.
You would never be.
When people throw out ideas, it sounds good, but I tell people all the time, like working in government, okay, you can throw an idea on the table, like when people criticize the president, say, why don't they just do this? We should just bomb the motherfuckers. You don't think about the after effects and the small things in between. You can't go across the country and say, you over here in Milwaukee, it costs $500 a month to raise a child, and we're going to set that across for the whole nation. But yet in Los Angeles, a woman with 2 kids over here in Los Angeles, where the cost of living is way higher and things cost totally different, the dad has to pay $800 for those 2 kids and whatnot a month. You can't. It'd be impossible to set that number. It's impossible. And then the discrepancy in their incomes, it's kind of like that $500. If you say you gotta pay this $500, and he working over here part time at McDonald's, those same dudes gonna be in jail no matter where you put the number at. So you have to do it by income. It's impossible.
That's what me and my boy came up with too.
I would say this when it comes to when we having conversations, you have to recognize your bias. I hear a lot of conversations where people don't recognize their bias in the conversation. Like I hear even Damien, he's mixed. I won't say half black, whatever. But you have to recognize that you have a parent of a different ethnicity. So part of your allegiance is going to be to whatever that parent is rightfully. You know what I mean? Or if you have a child support situation going on, your bias is going to be with that child support. So we have to recognize our bias.
I agree with you. I agree.
And kind of eliminate that to see what's really going on, because it's, you know what I mean, it's just not realistic, some of the stuff I hear us
I mean,
saying on here.
I think it's fair for me to say, and I'll agree with you. I am biased because I haven't dealt with these situations, but in my life, I've heard a lot of people complain, and it seems to be a common issue. So me, I try to come up with a common problem if it's happening to so many people. But I know now I like for people to break it down and say that's oversimplified. But I mean, the thing is that we complain, but I'm really not hearing a lot of solutions. I don't know how we do fix it, and that's what I'm trying to kind of
Yeah, I
move
mean,
towards, you know.
I agree, man, and I like what you have to say. I'm not even dismissing none of that. I like you coming from a level head. I totally respect what you have to say, but a lot of people don't do that. They come from their bias, and they just see that.
Can I say this too? And this may not matter to you guys, but my mother is white, but my mama's more hood than my daddy is. Because she grew up, I'm not trying to glorify nothing. I'm just saying real talk. Like, she grew up in the hood too, right? You know, but you know, I don't think I think that the deal is suffering, bro. So suffering across the board. I think that I've seen suffering, and that's what makes me want to help others that are suffering, because I'm doing okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I say. I'm fine, man. I hear people throwing out numbers of how much they make on their job, and like your boy just said, I don't know his name. He got the hood on, but I'm in Los Angeles, so some of the numbers I hear people big up in themselves, and that's like, I'm like, man, that shit don't mean nothing where I'm at. That's like some middle. I mean, that's like middle of the road shit, but they putting it on blast like they're really doing something. So
Yeah, I've seen that on here.
it's all
You're right.
relative. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you have to take that into consideration. So I never
True.
try to, when I'm conversating with people, man, as much as I disagree with KP and his wife, I never try to just disrespect somebody's point of view. You feel me?
Right. For sure.
Because what you pretty much boil it down to is all about human respect. We could disagree, but I don't have to disrespect you.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. When it gets to that, man, you lose the whole week. I think all of us gain a lot from these conversations, but when you start getting to the disrespect and all that, man, you lose a lot in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know, if I was in LA, I'd go kick it with you and have a beer with you.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt.
Because you can never learn any damn thing by having people around you that agree with everything you say.
Well, I wanted to say this too. I didn't say this on the other show, but I wanted to say, look at that, guys. We had a very emotional debate, but we kept it clean. We weren't attacking people unless they were from Black Lives Matter or something like that.
I mean, it's easier than you think to remain. It's easier than you think to remain civil.
No, I hate to say that. That's what we normally do on 95% of my shows.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about here. It's easy to keep it civil. That's what I'm saying to anybody else that's listening out there. Y'all shit is fucked up. This is how you supposed to act.
That's what I like.
No,
Everybody
you're right.
If you disagree, you should say what you have to say, and you should fight it. Like, I mean, if KP say you need to turn around 3 times, and I say no, motherfucker, you need to turn around 5. You should listen both sides. You know what I mean?
Andre, check this out. I done spent the last 3 hours defending feminism, bro. What the fuck for? You feel me?
That's what I'm saying.
I got a bro, you know. So I'm just saying, these conversations are healthy. I think sometimes we gotta step outside our comfort zone.
That's what I'm saying. People that know me would be shocked with me defending feminism, but it's just like, we can't do everything on feminism. Like, we have to, as men, take
Thanks for the backup.
Let me add to that. Okay, here's the deal. And I wanted to say this earlier. I believe that here's our problem, guys. The world pits us against each other, right? So it's always got to be either Black Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter, right? But see, the position that I take is like, pretty much you got to try to understand both perspectives. And I think that once we get on a team, we just cheer for that team, and it don't matter if the other team really has some valid points. We just cheer. Once we pick our team, we're on that team. So it don't matter if you're anti-feminism, anti-black woman, anti-whatever. Once you're anti that, you're anti that. So,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off, sir. I was just saying, like, people put a lot of value in groupthink, and that is not the way to live. You should be able to think as an individual in order to express your opinions, in order to go about life the way you want to, and not have other people say, "Oh, you wrong about that. Oh, you wrong about that. This is wrong." Like that's not living.
I gotta disagree with you on there because as far as black man and black people, we cannot we that's what's been fed to us, but everybody else group think. They think about white people, they think about Mexican people, they think about Chinese people. But when it comes to us, they want us to think individually. And then we come around and say, well, how come everybody's not doing this? Because
Right.
we being preached to about thinking
But
individually
that's the
instead of
only
collectively.
that's the way you perceive it.
No,
You
that's
perceive it
reality.
as
Well,
that's not reality. No, it isn't. That is not reality. That is not reality.
So you mean to tell me white people
You
don't look
have
out for white
different
people?
people. You have different people from different areas that think different ways. Now they might have their own group think, but it's fickle. It's not something that that you should gravitate to in order to build a family. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. In order to do something great, you see, normal people tend to get into groupthink. If you can understand what I'm trying to say.
No,
he,
I don't
he,
understand and I
he,
don't agree, man. I mean,
he,
you
But you know
can't have
what?
it both ways, man. You can't want black people to pick themselves up by the bootstrap and then say we're gonna do it individually. We have to do it either collectively or we have to start just latching on to everybody else. But everybody else is doing it as a group.
Yeah, but that's the only
yeah.
way you're gonna. That's the only way you're gonna start something is to do it individually first. You ain't gonna start nothing unless you do it individually first.
Okay, let's look at it like this, right? Let's say black people are an oppressed race. We know that, right? We would all agree on that, right? So then black people want to fight against that said oppression, right? So that's their issue. Women, right, have been oppressed. They want to fight against that oppression, right? Now, whether you agree, this is not agree or disagree. I'm just setting it up, right? Because this is what we have to look at. Does that mean that we as men should or black people should hate on feminists because they trying to get their power while we're trying to get our power? The point I'm trying to make, and I mentioned it to KP offline, I mentioned it on the air. I think that you can have a strong woman and a strong man in the same household if y'all build a strong relationship together. Yeah, I believe that what happens is these men are threatened by these women because
See,
they ain't real men.
I understand what you're saying,
You absolutely can,
but
but you
you're
can't
basing
serve
your first statement.
two
You're
masters.
basing it off of a victim mentality. You said that we are oppressed.
We are.
I, that's through racism.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about. The mentality.
You absolutely, but let me address what Damien was saying. You absolutely can, but you can't serve two masters. Before a woman, a black woman especially, if before you are a feminist, they're gonna say black feminist. Just
Well, what are you?
look at the
Who?
news.
Both of them
Look
are,
at
but they're being
MSNBC.
oppressed by the same oppressor,
Yeah,
too.
but you can't fight two battles before you do
You
anything.
don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you're fighting two battles when you say, "All right, I'm going to take a pause from
But
me
my
fighting for
question
black
is, who
folks."
are you oppressed by?
Who am I oppressed by personally? I'm not personally. I don't.
But
I don't really feel like I'm personally
you
oppressed
asking
by
me, you
anybody.
asking who are black people oppressed by?
Yeah. That's. You got to clarify. If you're asking me personally, that's different than blacks as a
It is
people.
different.
I'm asking him who
I
he
did not ask that. I said, who are you oppressed by? You said
Me
black
personally.
people, white. You said black people, black women, whatever, are oppressed by. I'm asking you, who are we? Who are those people oppressed by?
I mean, I don't think that it's. I mean, you want me to say white people? Is that what you set me up for? I mean, because I'm not
No,
really
I'm
that type
not
of
saying
dude.
that.
I'm
You
saying
were
that
talking. Oh, okay.
we've been oppressed by policies. We've been oppressed. I mean, I don't even like to go back to slavery, but we have to acknowledge it. You know,
Yeah.
we've been oppressed in many different ways, guy. I don't understand why you don't tell me why we're not.
That's the
If that'll
sad.
help, yeah.
That's
You
the sad
said,
part.
tell me
Whenever I
why
listen to
we're
this,
not.
it's
That's
the
yeah.
sad
To
part. Whenever I
offset
listen
that,
In
to
tell me
this.
why we're not
2016, who's
oppressed.
oppressing you or oppressing you?
Oh, oh, you're saying me personally.
Government.
No,
Nobody.
no, no, no. I take that back. In
Government.
2016,
So
who's oppressing these group of people?
y'all big anti-government boys can't say that is any policies in place that are in place that work against black people. Not to say that they can't overcome
No,
those things.
you're building the victim mentality.
I'm not. I'm saying that
Let me ask you,
you
how are
can't.
black people building the victim mentality, man?
Oh
Explain
man,
that to me.
tell me how I am.
I'm talking about his general conversation. When he first started talking about it, he said that black people are oppressed. I'm
No, I'm saying
asking,
black
who
people have
are we oppressed
historically been
by?
the majority.
The
That's fair.
majority.
That's fair to say. The majority. That's the best answer.
That's a blanket statement.
Who is the
Because
majority?
you're asking me to say Johnny 3 doors down from my house. That's retarded. Excuse me. That's unbecoming of your intelligence level. What we know that we're not personally identifying each oppressor. I'm saying that there
Yeah,
are
because I'm
policies that have
straight.
been in place. I'm good too. That's what I'm saying. But I'm willing to believe that there aren't people that
Well,
are doing well
here's
because
like this.
of things that are in place to keep
Let
them
me
from
clear it
doing
up for
well.
you. We're oppressed by poverty,
But
and
we
it's not a
already know that people are doing very well because they are in the places that they're in. So my question is, who are you? Who are you oppressed by? Like,
Me personally,
Well,
again,
let
is
me
that
let me let
because
me. I live in
Are
a
you,
three. I live in
Liv?
a.
Are you asking Damien a personal question?
Right, because
yeah,
you're talking in a circle, bro. You're either asking him about him or black
oh,
people.
you're saying you said it. You no. What I'm saying is the way you said it. You said it as in a group think. You said it as a
He
group.
already said he
let me
was not
clarify.
giving us.
Let me clarify because I know you're going off of that hypothetical I said a long time ago. So let's go back to that hypothetical. What I said is, or for clarification, what I meant is that black people in America have been historically oppressed due to policies and certain things that have occurred in our history. We can't deny that. Okay. Now we still have some recurring effects, although many people are able to be successful. Many black people were able to be successful. I acknowledge that. But here's the deal. What the hypothetical was that you want to keep breezing over is that I said there was another oppressed group right next to us. Now we had the same oppressor, but the deal is instead of continuing to go after the oppressor, we want to take our attention off of the oppressor and put it on the other person that's being oppressed because we don't think that all of us can be oppressed at the same time.
Time.
So that's what I was saying for clarification.
And that's where me and Damien's argument differ. I don't. We have the same oppressor, but me and I think Chess, we don't have time to fight the feminist battle and the black battle. We have to
Right,
fight the black battle
it's
first.
not a joint effort. But
We have
what
to
we've
fight the
been
black battle first, and then you
Okay,
can be a
that's true to
feminist.
say.
That's
well,
all
I
I
mean
was saying.
that's the issue of perspective, and I think that maybe a woman might want to focus on the feminist aspect of it. I'm
And
just
that's
saying
and that's why
they,
we will continue to lose because
but
we,
Well,
I mean, before when they call her a feminist, they're gonna call her a black feminist first. So you have to
I'll
address.
give you that.
well,
I'll
yeah,
give
they called
I'll
me a
give you
black
that.
woman first.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So that's
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 true.
all I'm saying. We have to address the most severe problem first. And when
Yeah,
we
but
can, when we all good as black people, then they can go to being feminists.
we have to be careful in
Yeah,
getting into pissing
said that, but
contests with the
I'm
fellow
thinking
oppressed.
when you said the most severe problem, I just want to know what do you think is the most severe problem?
The most severe problem is just this the systemic racism that we still face today. And if I think like if I'm assuming correctly, I'm talking to a black man, and that's just really sad to me that
Yeah.
I
You
keep
definitely
running into
talk to a black man. Yeah.
situations that black men don't see that. Like that's really sad and disappointing to me, man. That's not seen. That I live in a 3,500 square foot house. I'm doing good. I'm not tripping. I'm living in Los Angeles. I'm straight.
Hey, I can't complain myself, sir.
I done pulled myself out of the bootstrap, whatever y'all want to say. But my people as a whole are fucked up. So I can look at me and pat myself on the back and say all this other nice shit I want to say about myself. But I have to also, me personally, look at my people and like, man, I want my people to do well. Because I'm really the only one in my family that's doing what I'm doing. So that doesn't really matter to me. I'm not satisfied. So I have to
Yeah,
look
but
at it.
that goes again. That what you just said. You said I'm doing nicely, but I want my people to do well. Okay, so I don't I have a problem with that statement itself because it's
Okay.
like
I'm
you
gonna,
have a lot of black people that say shit like that once they start getting a little money, and I ain't doing good. I'm doing all right, but I want my people to do well. These are that type of talk in itself
What's wrong
is
with that? I'm trying to figure
it's
out what's
not
wrong.
no it's not necessarily wrong, but the actions behind it are they're just it's pretty much all
Well,
talk. I
no,
mean,
I
no.
just want to say this
Here's the
real
deal.
quick, Power. I gotta call you on some bullshit.
Go ahead, man.
You said the last show that I throw out what I have. You just did the same damn thing if you said I did it.
I did
Yeah,
throw out
that's
what
he
I
did.
have, but I threw it out as an example. Like, man, because he kept saying what I'm doing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I could just say, fuck it, yeah, I'm good. Like, man, like NBA say, not to, I know he's not here, but that's
Gotta
what I
bring him
say.
up, don't you?
Let
You
me
can just
say
say
this
you're
too.
good. You don't need to talk about the size of your house or your
Hey,
Lamborghini. None of
That's
that.
let
true.
me
You could have just said I'm good. I understand what you're saying.
I'm
let me
just,
piggyback that comment that y'all made because I think it's
But if it's
important
true,
to
it
it.
ain't bad. Then.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's true to call somebody on their actions. I think that's fair. And that's one of the things that I've tried to say
Oh,
over and over when I'm on this show is, yeah, I mean, I do. Hey, when I'm with my homeboy and I'm not live, I complain about niggas more than I do on here. I'm just gonna keep it 100 because it's just some things that I want to work out in private. But the thing is, I try to make it a point to try to contact 10 young people a week. I try to make contact with 10 young people a week and try to drop some real knowledge on them. And I believe that's legitimate action. So the thing is that I could turn around and say, I'm doing all right. But in addition to that, I'm also trying to take some type of action to better my community. So, I mean, the thing is that I don't know what the problem is, but I got a few ideas on what the solutions would be because of the path that I follow that helped me overcome, adversity. And
wait a
that's
minute,
really
my
all.
nigga. You say
Come
you
on.
don't know what the problem is, and then you got solutions for it. Come on, bro.
Listen, man, I'm saying it's a big problem. I could say that we don't get educated at a high enough rate. You know what I mean? I could say that we have too many babies out of wedlock. I'm saying it's not a simple problem to just put in a box. I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
I'm
you
willing
just
to
said
it.
like you didn't know who these people were having all these damn babies in last show.
No,
but
I'm saying we should take personal responsibility for the babies that we make. Ain't nothing wrong with me saying that. And I'm saying that because I did it, and I encourage everybody to do it, right?
I'm only saying what I'm saying to say that we have to look beyond what our situation is, man. You
I mean,
can't
Yeah, and
say,
I
I think
don't
it's fair.
agree.
I think it's fair to say I don't know what all the problems are, but I can try to work on the ones that I recognize with the young people I work with.
I don't agree with
But to
we
me,
have to elevate a
to
whole
me,
community. I don't agree with that at all.
honestly, to me, it's just the exact opposite. You have to look into who you are, because you have to remember those kids that's in the hood that see those gangbangers, those thugs, whatever you want to call them, those drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Driving down
cut out, man.
Lost your
Hey,
audio.
Power,
respectful
Yes,
men looked at that way in the hood. You see what I'm saying?
you made
Well,
a
I think that
statement. You made a statement about groupthink power that we should rise up together. I
no,
have
I
to.
didn't.
let me address what he
I'm not
said.
sure if I said we need to rise up together, but we definitely need to turn a hand back to try to help each other rise up.
So shouldn't it start with an individual versus waiting on a whole group?
It definitely should start with an individual. That's the only way it can start. But it can't start with an individual when you guys are just shitting on the whole community like we just fucked up and not looking at the reasons why we fucked up.
Because most of the reasons why we fucked up are excuses.
And the
Not the
thing is,
truth.
man, is that when you say the black community is fucked up, I think my community is fucked up. That's what I hear people say. And I take that to heart. You know what I'm saying? Because I could be one of them niggas that we all hate
Mm-hmm.
that makes it, goes out in the suburbs and then don't give a fuck no more. I could be that, right? But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
trying to be that, but ain't no winning with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like, well, what about this? Well, I mean, I'm just trying to tell you what I do, and that's all I'm trying to do, because every time y'all bash black people, y'all bashing. First of all, you already know you bashing yourself and your own people. That's it. So I'm just trying to do anything uplifting, and I'm
Nah,
gonna
you
encourage
ain't
anybody to do the
bashing
same.
nobody because you talking the truth. You ain't bashing yourself or nobody else. You just speaking truth.
Now
But
let me tell you why it
That's
is
like saying
because this
your
is a
mama black.
public
You
place.
can't say that.
What you say, What you
I
say, KP?
I said that's like saying your mama black. You can't say that
I'm not
shit.
saying it's because your mama's black. I'm saying because my father is black and he gave me life and he gave me part of my identity as being black. I'm not going to sit up here and just air out all the bad shit that black people's doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to recognize it, I'm going to acknowledge it, and then I'm going to try to come up with some type of solution in my little circle that I can impact and influence. That's what I'm going to do.
My thing is to talk about it, is a good step because think about it, if you have an addiction, how do you fix it? You have to acknowledge that there's a problem.
Exactly. And I agree. I
Exactly.
can't
I
believe
agree.
Well, we
I can't
know it's a
believe I agree
problem.
with
I don't
KP.
think we have
I
a problem
definitely
with
agree.
Most of
acknowledging
us
the
don't even
problem.
like to. We walk around here and ignore all these problems. We act like this shit don't happen or doesn't exist.
I can't believe I
I
agree
don't
with KP. But
I brought up that same thing. It's sort of a different conversation, but I brought up the same thing when people they were talking about child molesters and shit. I was like, well, that's a part of life. You have to deal with that shit in life. As much as you don't want child molesters, rapists, and all that shit around, you actually have to deal with that. So you have to know how to best protect your children and all the other shit that go with it.
so
I
you
see.
You
again.
have to do that.
So
I see the similarities in
I
what
see
he's
your
saying.
perspective
But
now. So you allow your cousins and nephews to get molested, and then you're gonna figure it out. Then you're gonna fix it after that. Our perspectives are different. I'm
No,
trying to figure out.
I don't think I said
I'm
that.
trying to figure
No,
out how to fix my people before we have all these other kids and all these other kind of shit. I'm going at it from that
how
perspective.
the fuck you gonna fix something that already happened?
But teach the
We
next
still
generation don't do it.
We've been saying we're
we
trying to
still
break the
living.
cycle.
I see the differences. What he's saying, the dude right here with what is your name with the dog with the Scooby thing?
They live. They live.
They live. All right, what he's saying is, all right, these things are gonna happen, boom, bam, and whatnot. What they're talking about is fixing a system, That's what they're talking about, fixing a system, brother. You talk about rapists and stuff like that. There's way more black people that we can help as far as the way they live than people walking around here raping little kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a sickness. Like what they're talking about is not a sickness. That's the difference.
So you don't think the people that put these laws in have a sickness?
What laws that let child rapists get off?
All type of shit. All type of shit.
That's vague. What laws?
How can you ask about what laws when you just asked us what systematic problems do we go through? So you just admitting that it's some kind of systematic problems if you asking us what laws. So you
he said these laws. I'm asking him what laws is he referring to. I recognize systematic oppression.
I'm not talking. I'm talking to him. Yeah, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. He said when Damien said what he said, he's like, well, what's holding you back? And now you mentioning laws. Like, so what are you talking
that's
about?
oppression in itself. If
Yeah, but
I did not mention
laws. I did not mention the laws.
But what laws are you talking about? You said
Yeah,
you don't think these people who make laws have sicknesses. What laws are you talking about? You threw that out there.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Bro, what I'm saying is, if you equate both those issues, the first issue I was talking about, along with the one that I'm talking about now, which is if you're gonna say, okay, that you said, I'm not sure who said it, but someone said that it was they're like psychopaths, or they're like not psychopaths, I'm sorry, it's I forget what somebody just said. They called them some absurd name, and then I'm like, okay, well,
So
what do you
hold on. Let me stop you for a minute. So you talking about molesters?
Child molesters?
No, I'm not talking about. I was bringing up a point when I was making that.
Oppressors.
I was bringing up a point when I was making that statement. Well, I'm talking about if you're going to, we all know that people who get in power, most of them are psychopaths. We already know that. Do we know that?
Yeah, we do.
I can't say that.
Maybe not psychopaths, but I think they like to be
They're
in power.
Sociopath.
Right,
Probably more
sociopath. Right, whatever you want.
But I wouldn't say
Right,
no
that's
part.
probably that's a better
Okay.
statement. Yeah,
So you said
sociopath.
people
Yes.
that get in power. So Barack Obama.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Sociopath.
Here's the statistic. Here the statistic is 85% of upper management is deemed as a sociopath based on their characteristics. Their man, it's late. I'm sorry, but 85% of people in upper management are
There you go.
sociopaths.
There you go.
But this is the point to that though, Damien. It's kind of like when a kid acts a certain way. What do people say? They take him to the doctor and they do what? He has what? ADD. Just because he
my
acts a
case
certain way
I'm-
doesn't mean that he has something that you can throw a label on him.
I'm just verifying the statistic. I'm not
I
supporting.
mean, there's stats all over the place that say, well, 85% of this study shows this and that,
But
this and that.
but let
That shit
him,
has no
let
validity with me.
let him at least finish what he was saying. Now that we cleared up the statement
go ahead,
about
go ahead,
sociopath.
Because I want to hear this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Kind of threw us off with the child molestation stuff.
Yeah, you
I was
did.
like,
You
whoa.
did,
That
bro.
one.
No, I wasn't trying to throw you out law. I was just bringing it up. See, it's like a taboo conversation where you can't talk about things that go on in your own community. That's what I'm saying. See,
Let me give you an
There's a
example.
lot of molestation going on in the black community.
Hey,
it goes on everywhere. Yeah,
Oh,
let me share a story.
that's-
real
that is
quick.
especially in the
the
black community.
Let
Yeah.
me tell y'all what happened to me relating to that, right? So I had an office. Remember y'all were asking, somebody had asked me earlier the area that I service. I had an office downtown, my wife and I was teaching a class, and it was black and brown kids, but I run a real tight ship, because I don't want to make a noise and shit, because I don't want them to disrupt anybody in the building I'm in the office in. So there was another class that was being taught in the building, and they let their people roam the hall and take breaks and be loud and shit. So one day I go in to teach the class, and they tell me I can't teach the class in here no more because my kids have been out roaming the hallway, which was bullshit. So come to find out, right, they have been paying attention to who I have been bringing in there, which, like I said, was black and brown kids. So I started doing a little bit of investigating into this building. Come to find out, they got a therapist in that building that only serves sex offenders. But I got thrown out of the building for bringing black and brown kids in the building, trying to teach them life skills. So I don't know what y'all think about that, but I think it was some fuckery. I think it was some racist shit. I went and rented another office, and my business kept on ticking. But I'm just saying, it's fucked up shit. Like you mentioned the taboos, bro. Like, I think that those sex offenders need their help. But I think that the kids that I was helping really deserve a space in that building. If I had to choose who deserved the help, I would say them kids over the sex offenders, even though they got a problem.
I would agree
In
with you.
America, anything deemed with a sickness gets pushed to the forefront, while black problems get pushed to the back.
That's what
been
I'm
noticed
saying.
that.
I think that they
Anything
should
with a
work
Yeah, but
with.
there's
sickness,
a lot
they
of black
concern
people
first.
in our communities that deal with these issues. I ain't
they're
just
black.
talking about that. It's
But
all
they're
type
black.
of issues.
That's the point.
All type of mental issues.
And where do the mental issues come from, man? That's my whole question.
Well, that's a vague question. Mental issues could come from a number of things.
Well,
you can be born with
I'm
mental
talking
issues.
about as it concerns us. Like, where I'm only saying that because these dudes just seem to want to just fucking just throw black people under the bus, and it's amazing
A
to
lot
me.
of the mental, a part of the mental issues, a part of it comes from incest, man.
From what?
From
You
what?
broke up.
It comes from incest. When you have these guys out here, 73 dudes making 78 damn kids.
But even KP, we were forced to incest before that.
I agree, KP.
You've been having
That's
a lot
a
of
mental disorder.
for a long time.
I agree.
Like, man, it's amazing to me how, man, y'all just give everything else
I
a
think
pass,
that
man.
I think that what we've demonstrated here tonight is that whenever we bring up personal responsibility, we always shift the conversation. And the deal is that we done gave these niggas a pass. That's
Give
why.
you a pass.
Yep.
All these
Yes,
niggas
sir.
Hey, let me ask you this.
all these niggas that are fucking up, we done gave them a pass.
Let me give you the best example I think I can give. I'm gonna go back to the Corinne Gaines lady. Now let's just say she lived, and we all seen the shit she was teaching her kid. None of us know that kid. We see what she was putting in her to her kid. And let's say that kid turned turned out to be 18. He 18 years from now, 21 years from now, he's 21. Could we really blame that kid for the fuckery that's in his head, based on what the fuck his parenting was? Is that
Yes and
his
no.
fault?
Yeah, but you when you
I
become a
don't
certain
get how
age, you
y'all
have
can
to
sit
be
up
able
here
to
and say that
discern.
we need to have
You have to
accountability
be
and
able to make up your own mind about things. We
But how can
cannot
you?
allow a man that's 21 years old to act like he's still a fucking child. That goes to waste right there. You have to say,
You missing the whole
okay, go
point, man.
ahead,
I'm
bro.
saying based on what we see was playing pumped into this kid. What do you expect that kid to
That's the
grow up to
You
be?
flip
question. He's not
flop.
saying
You
is it
flip
okay.
flopping now,
He's not saying is it okay.
power.
He said, can you blame him for what he's doing because that's what he was. That's what he was
So then
raised
you
to do.
shouldn't be able to blame anybody in the hood for doing the shit that they're doing.
That's
That's
my
what I'm
point.
saying. You
No,
giving
I
them
didn't
a
say
pass.
Exactly, exactly,
You should be able
exactly.
to.
But no. He
So you
said that
giving
particular individual, and we saw the things and we knew the things that she said and did. You had to listen to his question. When you roll through the hood, you don't know exactly what their mama was teaching them or who
No,
was
but
teaching
he
them
just
what.
said that's his point.
But my point is exactly what he said. We in the hood, like I grew up in the hood. I don't know. I
When
can't
you gonna take responsibility?
So in the hood, I know exactly what's being pumped into me, but I know only because of I was blessed to be in certain situations. I didn't turn out to be what everybody else around me
Right.
turned out to be.
Because
And I
you
feel
know,
that
you
because
I
of a lot of
believe,
people.
I truly believe that at somewhere around 12, 13, 14, you start learning just about some normal shit. Then you like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that, all that kind of
At
shit. You start
14, bro,
discerning.
time
So
out.
You start discerning.
No, bro.
So
I
despite
don't know where you grew up at, but there's not
Nigga, I'm
14
from
year olds in the
South Side of
projects
Chicago. What the fuck you
making
mean where I'm
rational
from?
decisions at 14. Like, hey, bro, maybe we shouldn't be dealing with dope. We just gonna starve for the next month. Hell no, you're not saying that at 14 in the hood. You're not, sir. I grew up in the Jacks, and you're not doing that at 14. At 30, maybe 25, yeah, most of them, half of them, I would say, yeah. At 14, hell no. You hungry, you sell.
But in a lot of cases, you
So
don't get to be.
14, so at 13 and 14, I wasn't even thinking about chicks. I was too busy playing basketball and having fun. What are
You
you
had a court
saying?
to play on. You had a
But
court to play on. That wasn't filled with dope dealers with needles.
You know
Come
why?
on,
Because
bro.
that's your experience. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's your experience.
Right, you had a
You
court
can't
to
put
play
your
on.
experience on everybody else.
You just said it, bro.
You know what?
All I keep hearing is some fucking excuses, man.
That's not excuses. That's reality.
Not excuses for bullshit.
All right, so how do we solve all this stuff? That's the question.
Well, like I said,
Look, like Damien said, you can't just sweep black people under the rug.
Hey,
though,
there's
bro.
a new guy that ain't been talking that's trying to talk. There's somebody that ain't been talking. Zelix. He was trying to say something.
Yeah, all I said was how. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
All I said was how are we gonna solve? Because I mean, we can name all the problems in the world. We can say how people grew up and where the environment they're from. Because I myself from Oak Park, I don't know if anybody knows about Oak Park, but it's like I shouldn't be where I'm at as well. If we, if we're all in the same league right now, of people that came from places where we shouldn't be what we are. We shouldn't be able to actually. Well, half of us should be locked up if we haven't been already. Let's be honest. The other half may possibly be dead, but we're not. So I mean, we obviously came from somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. I done did all type of shit that I can't talk about on here. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, man, you gotta take responsibility for your actions and the shit that you did, man, in your life.
But you're talking about
if you go to jail, you gotta take responsibility of that. If you go have 10 fucking babies and you have to pay all this bunch load of
You're
motherfucking
talking
stuff,
about after
you
the
gotta
fact of
take.
the action,
Man,
though.
look.
We're talking about precautionaries to prevent more black people from going down that path. That's two different discussions.
Yes.
And what you don't know,
They all kind of one though, man. You guys, we just kind of talked about this last show about having responsibility and taking accountability, but now y'all want to flip flop like.
I'm not flip flopping.
Switch up.
I don't care about.
This is all a part. That's what I'm saying. This is all a part of the accountability. This is all a part of the responsibility of knowing and making the better decisions.
Patrick and Power, you guys are totally flip flopping.
KP, and I can't see your name, so I'm gonna say Scooby Doo. That's what I say. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I was gonna call him Scooby.
I'm not never shucking personal responsibility, but I bring up this when I'm talking to you guys. I only talk about this when I'm talking to certain people because you guys just totally missed the entire boat of what got these people here. So if I'm going to try to help people and
What the hell?
Oh, he dropped off.
Hangout glitch.
All right.
Oh, my whole shit just switched. Oh, that's what happened? I saw my whole screen change. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shit.
that bullshit knocked him off real quick.
I got kicked out, but I'm back.
Okay.
I got kicked out, but I'm back. But go ahead.
I got kicked
Go ahead.
out too.
But yeah, I'm not shucking personal responsibility. I'm never doing that because that's the key. But at the same time, man, if you don't know why the fuck you just crashed into this brick wall, or why the fuck you just keep falling off the bed in the middle of the night, and you just keep getting back in the bed, or whatever the fuck the problem you having, if you don't figure out what the root cause of that, you will continue to have that problem. And for black people, we've been having this problem for 400 years because people keep telling us, don't worry about this other shit that happened, just do what's going on right now.
Man, I ain't buying that bullshit. You know
That's
what the
what
problem
he's
is.
talking about right there. That's what he's talking about. You keep talking about after the fact and this and that. You're talking about before. And what I'm saying is, yes, take responsibility, but we're talking about even before that. Where's the mentors, the teachers? Like I told one dude another panel, he said it doesn't matter what you tell these kids. They're going to do whatever you want to. I was that kid.
That's
I was
not
that
true.
kid. Somebody stopped me at 12. I know it's not
That's
true.
not true.
Somebody stopped me at 12 years old.
Yeah.
12 years old, I was going to make a drop. It was 3 rocks. He told me to quit doing that shit, and I stopped. He taught me every single day. You can go do this, you can go do that. You can do this. I got in the back. Let me finish. It takes that 5 minutes because he laid out beforehand the consequences and the deeper consequences as far as like, okay, if I'm 16, 17, and I have a kid and I'm still doing that, my kid's not gonna have a father there because I'm gonna be in the prison system. I can't raise no kids being in the prison system. He laid it out for me. If he didn't stop me from 20 days. When I was going to Mr. Jones' corner store, I would have been one of these niggas in the prison system, probably with 2 kids that I couldn't teach or take care of. That's my point. It's precautions. It's things like that.
But you just said to this man that he can make a decision like that at 13, 14. You just said you did it at 13.
No, he said at 12. He said at 13. This is exactly what he said. He said at 13, 14.
Yeah.
Can I finish?
KP likes to nitpick.
No, exactly. I know that. But he said, I'm telling you, but I have great memory.
Yeah.
At 13
Repeat
or
what
14, he said at 13 or 14, something should click in your head and tell you, hey, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. That's not what I said.
But it clicked
I had somebody guide me. An adult guide me.
But it still clicked in your head. I shouldn't do this.
He had somebody to
Right, you need somebody to guide you. I knew on my own I shouldn't be doing certain shit.
He helped turn it on. The light bulb was there, but he helped turn it on because I respected my elders. I respected older people, and him drilling it into me. He didn't tell me one time. He didn't tell me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He told me at least 15 times. He stopped me every day. That's my point. That's a difference, KP. That's a total difference than what he said.
And I'm listening to your story, brother, but if motherfucker I tell you 15, 16 times, I'm
you saying that's too much?
My man,
to save a young man.
It only takes me 1 or 2 times, bro. Like if
what does that mean? Have nothing to do with what I said.
My man, Scooby Doo. So let me ask you this: how many people around you, or your family, how many people did the same thing you did?
Very few.
Okay, so I think you're looking for a pat on the back. So if very few people did it, it would lead me to believe that it's kind of hard to do.
I'm not on the back, sir. I'm just saying that you at some point you have to think for yourself.
You keep saying that, but you're talking in a circle, bro, because you're not going anything deeper than that. You're just saying that 14, a light bulb should go off, and then boom, you're on the right path. It doesn't work like that. We're animals, bro. You're in your environment.
I've been through many struggles in my life. I'm not saying the light bulb just went off and I was successful, or you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just saying, like, dude, you learned at a young age. You learned at a young age that it's some things you can do, and it's some you just should not do.
And I see a lot of black people like you that go through a lot of struggles in their life, and they just turn some switch and think that everybody should turn on that same switch, man. And it doesn't work like that, man. I can't turn around and judge everybody that I've known my whole life, my family, and look at them like they fucking doing something wrong
But
because I was able to
and
pull
I agree
myself
with
out
you.
of
I
a
agree
fucked
with
up
you.
situation. You have to give yourself a little more credit and understand that everybody's not able to do that, man. That's not the reality of
And
it.
like they say, don't forget where you came from. That go or the meaning of don't forget where you
But
came from means that you were in that
that's kind of what
same
I'm
boat
trying
and
to
things
say
had to
to
go
you
right
guys
for
is
you to
that
get here.
I did all type of shit, like I said, that I can't talk about on here, and it's weird to hear. It's weird to kind of hear the irresponsibility of people. It's weird.
Man, I take responsibility for everything I've ever done in my life. But I also recognize that people that grew up in the same household in some cases or the same vicinity of me
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the same opportunities that I
Mm-hmm.
did. So
Exactly.
so
Yep.
I
Sure
can't
didn't.
I can't look at
Yep.
them like they did some dumb shit when I know I
So
had
give me an example of the
I can give you a
opportunity
perfect
that you
example.
had that they didn't have.
I played a different sport and I had a coach that was like a primary had a great impact on my life. I had a step pops that was in my life on a later age that
Male
showed
influence.
me
There it
different things
is.
that other people, even though we going back to the same house every day at 5, I had a step pop that talked to me a little bit more and gave me a little bit more information that my cousins didn't have available to them. So I can't, and all that stuff was crucial to me. I barely got by and able to live my life the way I want to live it and understand the importance of living my life the way I want to live it. But I can't look at my family who's still stuck when I know they raised themselves. They mama was crackheads, my aunts.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
There
look
you
at
go.
them with my nose up like, oh nigga, why you didn't do this? I can't
Mm-hmm.
do that because they didn't have the same opportunities as I did, no matter how minimal. And that's what y'all like to do, man, which is crazy to me. Like, man, I can't. It's like
I
crazy to me
can't.
to
I
hear
ain't gonna
black
lie.
people
Fuck
say
it.
that.
That's bullshit.
How is that bullshit, KP?
Just like I said last night. I think it was last night we talked about it. I grew up in the worst hood in Flint. One of the worst, I should say. And two of my friends, both of them come from broken homes, and their parents are straight up crackheads. And guess what? They're very successful men now because they took responsibility for the shit that they grew up in. And
And
I
you,
kept saying, well, because my mom was a crackhead, I can't do nothing in my life. That's
But
bullshit.
nobody's saying that's a definite KP. It's a contributor.
and y'all
Most
keep
people who
throwing
have
these
crackhead
numbers
You
mamas
out.
want to
don't grow
sit
up to
here,
be
but you
successful.
guys want to sit here and act like you can't do shit
That's
because
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, we
That's what
didn't
I'm
say
saying.
you can't do shit.
Look,
We
man.
didn't say that.
Look, man.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
It's like what,
No,
six,
nobody
7 billion
said that.
people on the planet, man.
Nobody said that. Nobody
Come
said
on,
you
man.
All
can't.
I
You
would say
can't be
was
better
all y'all
because you
keep
grew
talking
up with
about.
nothing.
KP
Nobody said
talking
that.
about.
but
KP
Nobody
you
said
want
talking
to
that.
sit here
about
and
two.
act like it's a crutch. Y'all playing a word game. Come on.
No. Oh, I
KP
said it was a
KP's talking
contribution
about
to
two.
failure.
KP's talking about two of his friends, and you talking about
Right.
yourself.
Yeah.
I can
So
name a
that's the
whole
that's
bunch
the
of people that I grew up with in a fucked up situations, and
What
the
about
majority of us made it
500,000?
out.
500,000? Most of the people I
four.
grew up with are dead or in jail.
So four of
There's a
y'all made
sample.
it
That's a
out,
that's a
and that's
large
the
sample.
yeah, and that's a great
Yeah, so
example
so
of
now
what.
you're talking about a personal situation.
No, it's not a personal
Ah.
situation. You grew up in the project. You can go project to project and find the same stats. Most of those kids don't grow up to enter college. Most of those kids don't grow up to enter the military. They become
But
failures.
you
Most
but
people who
but
grow up with
somehow you
crackhead
did,
mom.
right? Somehow you did, right?
Yes,
And I know
somehow
I
I did.
was
The
I know I
started
was
doing right.
blessed to do so.
Right, man.
Yeah.
I didn't take responsibility at 14. Say I'm gonna stop selling rocks. I didn't do that shit. It
But
had,
it
there
was
was a
too
life.
late.
I needed help. I needed help, mentors, male influence. There it is, male influence.
Come on, you already know what's right and wrong. Now stop this shit.
How
I was just
Do
thinking.
you know
I
what's
had this
wrong to sell
conversation
crack
with
when you
my
hungry and you can't get money? Do you know what's wrong when you in the projects doing that? You know what's wrong?
I had this conversation with my
Guess what?
brother-in-law.
I did some illegal shit in my life, and I came from a two-parent household. Guess what? I know that shit was
So were
wrong,
you
but I was
starving?
doing.
So were you starving, KP? Were you starving?
No,
No, you weren't.
I had this
Exactly. I know that, and I know that.
I had this conversation with my brother-in-law who kind of thinks like you guys do. But from the time I came in this earth, my family sold dope. They ran dope from Louisiana or from LA to Louisiana. I've seen that since I was fucking ever since I could recognize what was going on. So at what point if you a kid and that's what you come into this world knowing, like Korean's gang son coming to this world knowing cops hate me, they want to kill me. At what point does it click in your mind that this is all you've been taught?
But I did.
That's not what it is.
That's what I'm saying. I did the same. I did some of the same shit you talking about that your family did. I did some of that. I did some of that same shit. I knew that wasn't gonna be the way. I knew that.
I'll give you an example.
You should know that. If you look at your family, if you look at people around you, if you look at situations, you should know that ain't the way.
That's the norm. That's the norm.
That's
if everything around you is the way it is, that's the norm.
You know,
that's
right
the
wrong
norm,
shit. Think about this. Hell, I grew up in the house. Both my parents from the South. My mom always said, "Fuck them white people. Don't trust white people." I knew that was bullshit. She was talking. I didn't have to wait.
How did you know, KP? How did you know? How did you know?
Yeah, how did you know? Explain that to us.
Because I'd never seen a white person ever treat me wrong.
Where? I mean, where were you around white people? Where?
Here
You go to school every damn day, and I ain't never had no problem.
So you went to a school with white people in it?
I lived in the hood, and guess
What
what?
I'm talking about, niggas. Oh my God, people can't see shit just because it happens to you.
Skin color.
Everybody else.
Because somebody tells you.
That's the same from what KP's saying. That's my point.
Scooby Doo.
You know right from wrong.
That's because that's the point we've been trying to make. Just because
that's the point we just been trying to say.
Out, you can't look back and judge.
Yeah, but the point that you're making is invalid.
No, it's not. The majority of people in the project did go. KP said he grew up in the hood and he had 2 parents at home. Most people in the hood don't have that. That's
here's
example
what
right there.
Here's what
I didn't have. I only had a mother. I didn't have a father. Like, what are you saying?
Here's something we have
you
to
also
acknowledge.
You got a basketball court. You had things that you could do recreational wise.
One of the things y'all are debating.
I had a mother who. My mother
That's
had
crazy.
when she was 15. So my whole fucking perspective was skewed, and everybody around me was selling dope. I didn't see nothing positive except for the few people that came into my life. For whatever reason, I was blessed to have these people come into my life, and I was able to see a different perspective, which my family and people around me didn't see. So I can't now look at them like, hey, why the fuck you ain't doing this?
Thank you.
I understand where they came from.
When you know you needed help yourself.
What I mean, it ended to be
But
fucked
you
up
guys
for
are
me to look at
giving
them.
crutches and making excuses for this bullshit.
I didn't say it was okay to shoot somebody in the
That's
head.
what I'm talking
What I'm
about.
saying
It's
is
more
they need
excuses.
help. I said
It's
they
more
need
and more
help
They need
at
help.
a young age.
They
I
need
didn't
help.
say that it's okay to kill a person for their radio. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I said they
we're not
But you
saying
guys
that.
said, well, you fucked up. It's okay to be fucked up because nobody talked to you as a kid. That's
No,
I didn't say that.
Here's the
I didn't
deal.
That's why
Y'all,
you call me a cross.
hey,
We're
here's the
not
deal.
saying that.
Y'all,
We're not
y'all,
saying that at all. We're saying
that's not
you have to understand the perspective of other people. You can't just assume everybody had your reality.
well,
In order to help people, you have to understand where they come from. Why
I'm not
they are
talking
where
about
they
my
are.
reality. I'm talking about common sense.
bro, y'all are debating the difference between right and wrong versus the ability to make a conscious, life-altering decision. Those are two separate things.
Right.
Yeah, so y'all are saying that you're mature enough to know right from wrong at 13. That's correct, but your brain is not mentally able to make a life-altering decisions.
I would just say
So
this,
when I
man.
was 13, even through when I was 17, and I ain't gonna even fuck with you. Even through till I was about 22, I did shit with the consequences that there would be life altering changes. You see what I'm saying?
Wait. I get what you're saying, bro, but why do you think the legal age of buying cigarettes and smoking is 18? Why do you think the drinking age is 21? Why do you think you can't be off your parents' insurance till you're 25? You know, driver's insurance. Like, there's reasons for that. Bro. The age of consent. There's age limits for certain things for a reason, because your brain cannot formulate rational decisions at that age. And if you've been having, you live in an environment where you have to
to me that sounds like some communist ass shit. Like, oh, people can't discern, they can't make judgments for themselves. That's bullshit.
I'll just say this, man. We have different perspectives, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm doing cool. I'm not worried about nothing. I'm living my life, but I have children, and my concern is what they're gonna have to deal with. And if you guys, like I hear people also, I married this white woman and I'm doing this and I'm good right now, then you go ahead and run with that. But I'm more concerned about the longevity of my
Yeah.
people.
I mean, but
I'll leave it at that.
why do people come out and say, "Oh, I married this white woman"? Nigga, you just married a woman. Why she has? I mean, I don't get
I
it.
mean, you have to ask them why they say that. I don't know.
He was saying that's what
Patrick,
people get him as. I get what he's saying.
Patrick, I'm gonna have to tell you, man, that made no sense what you were saying about the person's mindset to make a decision, saying, "Oh, you have to be 21 to drink because of a mindset." That makes no sense, man. Because you go jump at 16.
So why is there age?
So you saying they're more mature at 16 than we are here in America at 21?
That's why the laws are set the way they are, though, KP. That's why they have those set there, because they feel as though the human brain cannot make a rational decision to buy alcohol or whatnot at that age.
To watch a motherfucking movie at
But
17.
you can go right across well, if you're in Detroit area, you can go a couple miles right into Canada, and you can drink at 19.
You could drink at 19. They believe that your age at 19, you can make that decision. And then think about this. That's only
KP.
To make a conscious decision.
KP, is it a law that says you have the right to go to Canada and watch a movie at night? Is there some kind of law you have to do that?
I don't know Canadian
sneak
laws.
over there and do that.
No, you can go over there and shit. 19 years old, you can go over there.
Well, I mean, everybody know Detroit fucked up, so we can't really base nothing on that.
It's just like if you go to
I
Germany.
mean, since when did laws stop motherfuckers from doing what they want to do?
Listen, the legal Germany is
plenty of times. Some dudes would have $100,000. Man, there's some dudes who would have plenty of capital, plenty of property, if they could sell drugs legally. Plenty. So yes, laws do.
Like I said, ultimately, man,
things. Yes, they do.
I've only been on these panels twice, but I figured out real quick that ultimately, if that's the way you feel, man, let me know how that work out for you, man. Like everybody else is looking out for their people.
Thank you. You're arguing against that.
Regardless of what you think, I'm not talking to you, man. I'm talking to the other KP and other dudes.
No, I feel you. I'm agreeing with you.
White
go ahead.
Looking out
Say it again.
Mexicans looking out for Mexicans, and we hit Jewish people love Jewish.
Yeah, I told you about that group think.
So if you want to try to disassociate yourself from everything that is you go right ahead and let me know how that work out for you and how that work out for you.
Hey, and brother,
I'm not even about to bite that bait with that bullshit.
I'm not. Let me ask something. That may be an egotistical statement, but for those of you that have reached the level of success that you were looking for, I mean, don't you think it would be cool to like share your way out with somebody else?
Thank you. Share knowledge. That's what white people do. That's what Asian people do. That's what Hispanic people do. They spread their knowledge, and that's how they build the wealth in their communities and make the shit better. So you won't be on the internet all day talking about trash.
Like start doing better, you call a sellout. You're cool.
No,
KP, it doesn't matter. KP, but that's the thing. Why does it matter what somebody down the street calling you? Somebody. Why does it matter if you blessing somebody with knowledge? Why does it matter what the fool down the street saying about you?
And I don't. Y'all must be taking a YouTube experience because I've never met nobody that's doing.
Because I don't give a damn.
That cool ass nigga trying to help my black ass.
Right here on YouTube, you got a way out.
Man, I
have a way out. Every single person on here, you are giving back. If anybody want to watch YouTube, you have a way out.
Tell them what to do, man. They waiting on you to tell them what to do.
Go to school, get an education, get a trade. Stop running these fucking streets. Stop having all these kids and putting yourself behind the 8 ball, getting yourself caught up.
I agree with you.
It's really simple though, KP. It's really fucking simple when you really think about it.
KP, them last 5 seconds, bro, was more powerful than a lot of shit I done heard you say, bro. On the cool. That's what we need to be doing. You don't lay out.
You try to be my heart's nemesis, man. I see where you go a lot of times.
Nemesis, man. I just think that it's unfair that we bash people and don't give them no solutions. We need to sprinkle some solutions.
We did a whole damn show on solutions.
Man, look, it's one solution. It's one solution. I think Chess brought it up. Chess been bringing it up ever since. Look, That shit starts at home. All that shit starts at home.
And where
If
does
you
home
don't,
start at? My
the
brother,
home starts at home, motherfucker. What you mean where it starts at?
No, I'm saying where does they mama get what they supposed to be learning at home?
So
Man,
what
look,
their mama wait?
even if you come from a single parent household and you know that is not the right way to do things, you go and you make sure that you try to have that situation that you did not have.
That's what you assuming.
Thank you, because y'all kept saying that common sense. What's
This
the saying about common
is
sense?
actually a solution. These niggas don't even like it. What the fuck?
No, I'm not saying. I agree with what you're saying, man. But you again assuming, man.
That wasn't a solution.
I think it has to be. It has to be.
You keep telling me about all these hood experiences you had, so I don't understand how you can't see that, man.
Thank you. Unless your experiences really wasn't that hood.
I guess I'm not hood enough for you, brother.
Oh damn. Hey, I really need to say this to KP because I don't want him to think I'm trying to bump heads with him, but I think what y'all are saying is simple. I mean, yes, we believe in personal responsibility, but we also believe that some people have adversity stacked against them. You know, so here's the deal. If we were able to maneuver around any adversity that we experience, we got something to share in that experience that somebody else doesn't have. That's the whole point.
But the problem with what you're saying is that again, it's the victim mentality. As I said before, you say okay, you said we have all of this shit stacked against us.
You keep saying that, and what's wrong with us being the victim?
It's stacked against who? It's stacked against you. That's how you feel.
And let me ask you this: what's wrong with us being the victim? Like, how come everybody else gets to be the victim? And I mean, I don't understand what's wrong with us being the victim when that's what we are.
Okay, well, look, what I'm saying is, you'll never win being the victim.
But you don't think the odds are stacked against all these hood kids y'all talking about? Like you don't think that they have it more difficult than somebody that it may have had a more stable upbringing or environment? You're telling me that the odds aren't stacked against people that are facing adversity, like just normal adversity that you and I both know exists in the hood.
So basically, no one else is facing adversity. Oh, okay.
Let's talk about let's address the innocent black people that are dying where you come from, and you said Southside Chicago, right? Like the innocent people that are dying, right? They don't want to be there. They want a better situation, and I want them to have a better situation.
And that's good. We can talk about that all fucking to the blue moon. We can talk about that all the way to the moon, to the sunshine. God damn it! You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you gonna have motherfuckers that gonna do what they gonna do regardless of what you saying. Because man, look, I ain't even go.
We just gotta stop and talk to a couple of them.
I'm gonna go to Andre's partner Leslie. Me and him been having this conversation back and forth to where the mindset comes in, to where Leslie has told me on several occasions, and I'm sure he'll tell you if he pop in here right now, that he believes, and he's told me that he tells his children that white people are smarter than black people. So
What?
if you don't understand the mindset that has been created for us in our circumstance, if that don't tell you what we deal with, then I don't know what will. When you have somebody who really,
he's only one person.
My thing is who who you talking about? You keep saying who we.
But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this from my personal.
It's all group think mentality.
Yeah, everybody else group.
Wait one sec, man. I'm gonna tell you something from my personal experience. Sometimes you're right. Sometimes it's like just because you sit here, it's like this. Say you made it. You know, you went down to the Empire State Building and you walked up the stairs and you made it all the way up to the top of the stairs. You know, walked all the flights of stairs. Just because you did it does not mean everyone else can. And some people may say, well, you know, well, I did it. You just need to buckle up and do it. But some other people may
but at the same time,
you know what I mean?
What you are describing is that what you are describing is that something that some will look up to and say, I can do that. Others will say, hey, fuck that, I ain't got no, you know, it's a victim mentality.
I'm not even gonna always say that, but think about, like, what is the person who, okay, well, fine. He said, well, I gotta walk up the stairs, but all the way up all those stairs, but I'm starting 2 miles away, and I gotta walk for 2 miles first before I get there to even go up the stairs. You understand what I'm saying?
Shit, that's black people in this country. We gotta do shit extra better.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Some people just.
But that don't mean you can't do it.
It don't mean you
We
can't
gotta
do
go
it.
out and tell them that. We gotta go tell the young people
Right.
they gotta do extra better.
Right, but also too is sometimes one thing we fail to do is sometimes we need to help them too. We don't put any. I mean, that's the thing. We black people, we like to talk a lot, but we don't like to help each other.
Yes.
And if we don't,
Yes.
if we run up the stairs of the empire.
I agree with you, but how? But how do we
Let me
help?
say this because that's
Do
a
we
perfect
be these
analogy.
pro-black ass motherfuckers? That I mean, how do we help?
Let me say this because that's a perfect analogy. If I run up the stairs of the Empire State Building, I get up there and I know I worked out for fucking 6 months, getting up at 6 in the morning for fucking 6 months straight, and then I sit back and watch 1,200 black people run up the stairs and fail, and don't tell them that what it took for me to get up there and how I was able to do it, and laugh at them and say, well, what a motherfucker, you stupid. I did it. How can what the fuck? I mean,
Instead of those 1,200 folks, what about just your children seeing you to do that? That would make a big difference.
But even if it was my children, if I don't tell them what it took for me to get up there and tell them the ins and outs of what you need to turn at and all this other stomach stuff, what the fuck? I mean, how am I helping anything?
Thank you.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if they can see the fruit. If they can't see the roots, it really does nothing. It does nothing.
I don't know about that. If you see somebody doing well, man, you could just take that and run with it too.
That's not true, KP, because a lot of kids idolize athletes and entertainers stuff. They have no idea what a lot of these people who are educated behind the scenes they've done to get to that point. They just see money and big houses and cars.
But
That's all
you
they see.
see what they do and take that as an example and like, hey, you know what? I can do better. Or I want to be like them.
How? You don't know what path to take. That's like saying I can see a man on a boat end up in England or something, but that doesn't mean I can get on the boat and know how to get there.
Inverse reality, like
if I have a pair of binoculars and I'm looking out in the middle of the ocean, I see a man sitting on the boat out there, and I start swimming, not knowing this fool and took a speedboat out there, and I fucking died halfway.
Right. You don't know the path to take, bro.
You can research it. This is a different era than what we grew up in. You have
Research
Google
how?
at your fucking fingertips now.
Like I said,
yes, that's what I'm talking about. You don't even have to go to school to learn about a lot of this shit. You can hop on your internet and learn all type of shit.
What are you Googling? How do you know what to Google? Wait. You can have a. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's a tool.
Gentlemen.
If I look at a person, be like, okay, well,
y'all let George talk.
They're a basketball player. What the first thing you got to do?
We got somebody ain't spoke yet. We got somebody that hasn't spoke.
I'm gonna say
this. Go ahead, George.
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave it alone. For Chess, Dre, Damien. I don't know the other brother's name with the hood on, but this is a clear illustration of why we are where we are.
Thank you.
You have black people sitting up here arguing about.
Against.
But we're not arguing. We're having a conversation, man.
No. Hold on. To a certain extent.
Can you finish his statement, guys?
Wait a minute, guys. Let him speak. Go ahead.
No, he got kicked.
No, he dropped off.
He's coming back.
Yeah, I got it. My stuff dropped off, but I'm back. Go ahead, man. My stuff dropped off, but go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish your point you were making.
But we have people say this is why we're in the position that we are in, because we have no unity whatsoever, and we can't even look and see our own struggles. We get it, and we look back at everybody else like why they ain't get it.
Right.
Not even recognizing that they didn't have the same path that we have. So it's almost a pointless conversation, man. And only reason why I even got
that's gonna be a topic for a prime time show.
The only reason why I even
come on, man, like come on, don't even do this discussion that type of shit, man. Don't even do
We'll
that.
save it.
Man.
We'll just save it for the prime time show.
Don't,
Like
No, we're gonna do it
don't even
again
say
on the
that,
prime
man.
time show, though, right?
Wouldn't the solutions be opposite of the problems?
Hold on. But gentlemen, both of you are missing a key point. Why is it on a planet of 7 billion people, is it
I
not
said it. I
possible?
already said it. Go
Can
ahead.
I finish? Or
Go ahead.
why is it possible on a planet of 7 billion people that you can't acknowledge that there are going to be a myriad of stories and the outcomes from those stories are going to be completely different? Because what you're both doing, and I'm not saying that you're both doing it for the wrong reasons, but you're arguing against each other when realistically both of your stories existed. So if both of your stories existed, that means there are options, but not everybody can take those options.
Exactly.
You just said that. Okay, I'm not going to go there.
Exactly.
Thank you, George. Thank you.
Exactly. Now you can lovely play that middle fence, you know, in the middle of the middle.
Let George finish what he's saying.
No, I'm just saying, to me, I look at it from this point of view, right? Someone said on a panel, I'm not going to use your name because I don't want to. Well, you already said it on air. Someone was selling rocks at 14 and he got stopped.
That's me, George.
Right?
What's up?
Now, now I look at it from this point of view. That's his story, and that's how he got out. Whereas KP is arguing that, hey, you can grow up in that situation and a light bulb can switch on. That true is also true, but it's not an absolute. There are a myriad of ways that someone can get out of the hood or get trapped in the hood. That is not the issue. The real issue is, how the hell did Patrick have to be on the street at 14 selling rocks in the motherfucking first place?
That's what we're saying.
Because Patrick, and I'm just saying that in a third person, because Patrick doesn't understand he only thinks that's his only option.
No, that's disingenuous, sir. That may genuinely be his only option.
Where were your parents?
But KP, that may be because, sorry to say this, Patrick, he may have had shitty parents.
I guess we gotta save every fucking body.
And as black people, we do have to save everybody. That's the
That's some bull crap, man.
You can't save everybody.
Well, are you trying to? Are you trying to save somebody? That's my point.
Okay, I'll give you.
Save everybody. We gotta paint up this rainbow ass umbrella and put everybody up front.
You didn't answer my question. Are you trying to save somebody?
Are you asking me personally?
Anybody. Y'all two said that no, we shouldn't save people. Well, that's what I'm getting from y'all two's debate.
Let me tell you something. I say it live on air. You know how many black youths I've been involved with?
So you care. So you care.
Okay, I've been there, and I can tell you horror stories what I've been through because of that.
You tell them what you tell us.
What's that?
You tell those young people what you tell us, that black people ain't shit. You tell them that.
You know, he never said that.
No, let him answer the question. Oh, KP has said that. Fuck that shit. He has said that.
What's the question you want?
I'm saying that those young.
Well, I ain't hear him say that, so go ahead.
I'm saying niggas ain't shit. Separate from them.
No,
that's what you tell them.
I'm saying you would tell them niggas ain't shit across the board.
You can do better. You're a black man. Don't be associated with niggas in the
Okay, now I understand what you're saying.
Okay. There's a differentiation. I'm glad you made that differentiation.
Tell the truth to get better. You can't just live on lies. You know what I mean?
So I don't know why you guys like to try to say that I just
recognize
don't deal with black folks. I love black people. I just can't stand
it. It's all good, KP. It's all good. It's all good.
I mean, I care for all of them.
I don't.
All up, yeah. You umbrella man.
Yeah, I'm umbrella man, bro.
I care for everybody under 12 because I think I can
He
still
said,
say that.
I don't.
Let me define this. When I say niggas, they come in all shades and colors. I don't like none of them. Give them you white, green, purple, whatever. If you that fucking ignorant, you a nigga.
Never seen a green nigga.
Hold on, because I get what KP is saying. And this is something else where we start getting into the ridiculous. Because he's using the word niggers or black or anything else that he would choose to use, people are finding wiggle room to say they're out, they can care for all of them. The honest truth is, right, you don't care for all of them. That's the honest truth. Don't use blanket statements when you don't mean blanket statements. Because what KP is actually describing is the dysfunctional. He doesn't care about the dysfunctional. And for someone to turn around and say, I do, that's being slightly disingenuous. Let's be real, because nobody here is sitting down thinking about the pedophiles.
Yeah, that's why I said somebody. I don't believe
I disagree with you.
Should be
he might really feel this way. He might really feel this.
No, I was specifically talking about like young people that we try to influence. That's what I was.
Yeah, but you see, all right. Do you want me to tell you why this conversation has gone into such a big loop? Because everybody's using blanket statements instead of describing exactly what they're talking about.
Right.
I mean, I think I made it clear the kind of impact that I try to make. I mean, all I'd say is I try to visit at least 10 kids in my community and teach them life skills. That's all I'm trying to do. You know, so I'm not saying it's a blanket statement. I don't even know that the shit I'm going to teach them is going to help them, but I'm just trying to do something.
No, Damon. You know that I support what you do, man.
Wait, you just said you don't know what you teach. Wait, I want to say that one more time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you brought it up because you wanna leave out application. So we can give them the knowledge, but they do have to apply it, right? So I don't know that it's gonna work. I don't think I save every kid that I encounter, but I'm gonna give them everything I got and try to help them, get on the right path. I don't know I'm going to save them, nor do I look for any glory in that. I want them to have the right path. I just want them to take the right path. I want everybody to have a good life.
I agree. I just want you to clarify that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a difference when you're trying to help somebody going in with the attitude, which I think you have, which is a judgmental attitude. You automatically lose the kid right there.
Wait, who's you talking about now?
When you don't come to the kid with a sense of understanding of where their circumstance and where they come from, and you come to them with I did this shit and you should be able to do it too, you lost already.
That's why most people don't have a good relationship with their parents.
Right. I think that's what the argument was, guys, because there were some people saying, "Hey, I don't feel I need to help anybody. I made it out. Forget them." I think
what?
I think that's
you still can't help nobody that don't help themselves. It's very simple, man.
Bro, you said at 14 a light bulb should go off. So I don't know what the hell you talking about.
You also can't help nobody that don't know they need help.
Oh my God! So now we got to deal with the mental patients and shit.
No, it's not a mental patient.
Bro, poverty does change your mental state. It does. The struggle does change your mental state. That's why people on the outside can't rationalize the things that happen in the hood. They can't rationalize why you shoot somebody for a pair of shoes or for $20. You know, people say, "Oh, you shot them for $20. $20. You know how hard $20 is to come by for some people."
And you speaking from a typical white supremacist. I guess I'm gonna be labeled a black.
Wow. White supremacist.
Typical white
damn, man, who's teaching you
that they don't have a clue about the conditions that they've created. So they look at us like, well, why the fuck y'all didn't do this?
Man, look, look where I came from. It's people many of us have the resources. Many of us have all type of shit to help us. We just don't choose to use it. I mean, come on, man.
But we know that those are tools. You won't know how to use a chainsaw unless somebody show you how to use a chainsaw.
And that's my point. I don't need to look at where you came from. You need to look at where you came from. I understand where you came from, but you need to figure that out.
All right, can I ask a question? Because there seems to be a difference in ideals, and that seems to be the next sticky point.
Right. Let's go.
Now, hold on.
Go ahead.
Some people have an opinion that because you've made it, you need to then help the next generation.
I ain't make it. I ain't made it. Like I made it. You know what I'm saying? What qualifies as you made it?
Let him finish, bro. Let him finish. Come on.
Let him finish.
Dude, I don't need you to interject in the middle of me speaking. Thank you. It's not I'm being rude, but you are. Anyway, now there seems to be a difference between those who are saying that you need to look back and help someone else, and those who are saying, guess what? I believe in the human existence as an animal, and therefore it's about me and what I create. Now, the honest truth is, no one can honestly say one is better than the other, because this is the rules of the planet since day one. So even though there are those of you who are saying you should look back and help, which is quite correct, he can equally say, I don't need to help anybody, do it for yourself. Now, if you can understand that both of you are diametrically opposed and at opposite ends of the pole, then that's perfectly fine. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to force each other to say one or the other is right when you both disagree completely ideologically.
And I agree with what you just said. And I
I'm sure you
understand.
do.
And I not only agree with what you just said, I understand. But his point is, he's trying to make it seem like he's on our end of the spectrum. Like he would. I mean, if you say
On
you
high
fuck
end of the
everybody
spectrum.
else,
Have I ever said this?
if you saying fuck everybody else, that's fine. This shit would have been over an hour ago. If that's not what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what conversation I'm listening to, man. You know what I mean?
We always
That's
end
good.
up all over the place.
And I'm not.
So
And
you
I'm not sure
basically, a
we can help you
translation
with
said what we said went over your head. That's pretty much what you were saying. It went over your head.
Yeah, we'll get that soon. But what I'm saying is, look, at the end of the day, man, you got responsibility for your actions, and if you don't know that, then you'll learn soon.
I think we all agree on that.
But what Power was saying, it was like if you keep trying to distance yourself from people, from your people and where you came from, that shit is full circle. That all has to do with energy and karma and a lot of things, bro. When you leave, when you sit there and you put judgment on people, the same people in the same situation that you
Are we
came
talking
from.
about judging people? Oh my God! Like, wow! Like,
Okay,
did you just
but
say judgment?
if you try to
Judgment?
distance yourself from those people that you came
Wow.
from, like that's what's gonna happen, bro. You're gonna have struggles. I'm telling you, social struggles.
Judgment.
Ask OJ how that worked
You
out
know
for
what,
you.
Patrick? Hey, check it out. Listen, Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's wrong to distance yourself at all from people for your own safety, for one, and two, you got to just know what environment you're in and how you're addressing certain people, and that's the whole issue right there. You know what I mean? You got to address them a certain kind of way.
Fine.
Hey, Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, okay. I saw your earphones went off. I didn't know if you're still there. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a certain way to address certain people if you were trying to reach them. So I mean, I don't see what's wrong with distancing. You know, if you want to, for you know, what I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. But I do think there should come a time where you do reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be all of them. It could be like a family member. It could be somebody that's, you know, that
Exactly.
oh, what's that? Who's that?
That was Scooby Doo.
All right, but I mean, you should reach out to somebody, and I don't disagree with the fact that you I don't think you need to really go back to a community and help each one of them, because I mean, like I said, Oak Park had a community there, and I personally, when I go back there, is not how I left it. You know what I mean? Like when I
You
was
can't.
there,
It's impossible to go back and help every fucking body.
But you,
Literally,
but you,
it's
I
impossible.
hear
somebody.
even in my man's conversation, I hear his I hear him where he's coming from, because he's talking about go back and help them, like we talking about some fucking ostrich.
Them. I didn't say them. I said it's
No, I'm not
impossible to
talking
go
about
help
you.
everybody.
I'm talking about
Oh,
the
okay. All right.
yeah, I mean, even when we talk about our own people, we talking about act like we talking about some fucking odd species. Like, this is you. This is where you come from. And if you have no interest in trying to better them, I feel sorry for you. Like, I don't get that at all.
I don't know whether that's a fair statement, because at the end of the day, you saying that you feel sorry for him
Right.
automatically means that somehow he's at the detriment for distancing himself from failure, which is an unfair statement. Because, look, that's why I put it into very simple terms. Diametrically opposed ends of the poles. Just because you do not agree with him does not necessarily mean there's something wrong with him. It's just a stance on life he has taken for his own reasons. Just as much as he could say, I feel sorry for you, because you're going to constantly put yourself in a position where you may end up having your life fucked up. It's not that either one of you are wrong. It's that you've chosen different outcomes. He doesn't want to help anyone. You do.
Oh no! Whoa.
Okay. See, I knew there was a point where you wanted to help.
Whoa! You said what? You said he doesn't want to help anyone. Whoa! Like you just made a real drastic statement right there, sir.
No, that's Scooby. That's very interesting. You reacted like that because now that we know that there is a part of you that wants to help. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be in this room, even debating. You'd be
exactly
like these motherfuckers. But tell them, those who disagree with you, how you wish to help. That's the part where they don't understand you, and that's where you're selling.
Well, I mean, you could ask them the same question.
No, hold on. To be fair,
how do you wish to help? Like,
no, hold on. To be fair, I will ask them, but I asked you first.
Go ahead.
So
listen, I'm going to help. It's very simple to me. I'm going to help by doing what I do, and hopefully young black kids can see me doing what I do, and they will want to grow up to be like or be better than me. Just like they look at them damn drug dealers on the motherfucking corner. It's very simple.
So basically, like I thought, you just want a big ass pat on the back for whatever you've done in your life. And
no, it's you are setting an example. What? Oh, okay, go ahead.
You didn't say shit. You said basically they can look at me and see all the wonderful shit I'm doing, and they can follow that, whatever the fuck that is.
Hold on, stand by. One minute. Eric wants to talk, but to be fair, Power, that's not what he was saying. But go on, Eric.
Okay. I want to make a statement, and it's the same statement that you already made, George. There are no absolutes. Okay, we're focused. Everybody's focusing on absolutism, based on their mindset, how they're thinking about things. There are no absolutes. Okay, there's some people that will say, okay, like Scooby-Doo said, okay, I would like children and youth to look at me, okay, in the same way, in the same way they look at those drug dealers and follow my way of doing things legitimately, as opposed to them doing things criminally, even though we're attaining a lot of the same things. Okay. On the other hand, you have somebody who says, okay, well, I made it out of the hood. Now I want to go back and impart my knowledge about what I've learned, okay, and I want to pass that knowledge on to children and youth, okay, and I want to help people that way, okay. You got two different views, so there's no room. So therefore, there's no absolutes. People have different ways.
People have different ways of thinking.
That's right. You have different perspectives on how they want to help the quote-unquote black community. And for me now, myself, I look at it this way, okay? Reach out and help the children and the youth. Because the way I look at it is this: I'm not going to try and tell other grown people how to do anything. I'm not going to do that. For me, to me, it's a waste of time, because if I'm talking to adults, okay,
say it again.
Okay, I'm an adult, they're an adult. I may be an older adult, but the fact of the matter is this, okay, objectively speaking, we're all adults, okay. I cannot tell them how to do things, okay. They have their mindset about how to do things, and I'm not going to try it, all right. But the children and the youth, yeah. You can teach them, okay? Human behavior is learned behavior, okay? And if you're in the hood, you learn certain things by observing what you see around you. Now, somebody can come back, somebody who has made it out of the hood can come back in the hood and say, hey, young man, you know, don't do this, don't sell the drugs, but teach him another path, okay? To how can I say, to attain goals in life in a different from a different perspective, then okay, then they're helping. They're helping by teaching from their past experience and the knowledge they've acquired how they can live the so-called good life, okay, without being the dope boy, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, say it again.
Scooby, is this man not saying the same thing I said?
Everybody's saying the same thing.
But how does he get it now? Why does he get it now?
You know, but the thing about it, but the point I'm trying to make is this, and it's what George has already said. There are no absolutes to doing this, and it seems like the argument has been, well, the argument has been in diametrically opposed ways of thinking, but absolutes. And I mean, it's a worthless argument, worthless debate.
Eric, that's your name, right?
Yeah.
And you. I think one time I heard you say you're like probably one of the oldest guys in the chat room. So you've been around for a while. And in your life experience, do you see us getting better or worse?
You know what? But the thing about it is, it's wow. That's a hard question for me to answer.
That's a really good one right there. That's a really good question.
It's a great question, but it's hard for me to answer because I'm from the outside looking in. I'm over here in Finland, and I've been over here in Finland for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm not seeing I'm not seeing the issues in the quote unquote black community, from the inside, I'm watching videos, I hear news reports here and there, but I'm not seeing that.
And that's good that you're not seeing that, because you provide a different perspective.
Well, from my point, in my lifespan, I won't say my age, but we are much worse off from when I was in first grade, seventh grade. I mean, to me, it's desperate measures. So as a black man, it became a time for me, and it is a time for me to choose a side and choose to try to do something to benefit my people, because I see us being extinct within the next 200, 400 years, and I will be long gone. But as a black man who cares about my people and cares about my children and my potential grandchildren and all that kind of stuff, I can't imagine a world where we're not here, but that's what I see if we
What do you mean by
on the road.
we?
Huh?
Define we. Hold on. To be fair, I think that statement was a bit strong.
I don't think it's a bit strong.
Hold on, Power. You may see the extinction of the American black, but the rest of the world is doing fine. The rest of the world is doing fine. Africa, despite its problems, is slowly sorting itself out. Whereas the Americas is going downhill.
You're absolutely correct. I should preface that by the American black.
That's what I was asking you. Who you mean by we?
Yeah, the American black. I'm sorry, but
okay.
I see we are in a much worse position.
Yeah, and I said that earlier when you were saying we. So, I'm like, who is we?
So
you know what you're talking about.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, and I care about my children, my potential grandchildren, and their children. And if we continue on the path that we're on, I don't see us being successful. So it behooves me to care about and to try to extend a hand to anybody that I come into contact with that looks like me.
I'm sorry you're pessimistic about your future.
Yeah, I'm not pessimistic about my future. My future is fine, but it's about everybody else's future.
And I feel on that. And you hear older people, I'm 28, and I hear older people say the same things I say. They're fearful of the youth and the things that lay ahead of them because of things like, oh, well, just let them do this. Oh, well, just let them do that. People don't care. You take the stance of not caring. If people before you took that same stance, if MLK and other people took the stance of not caring, oh, well, it is the way it is, you wouldn't be here. you wouldn't be here in this position.
That's true.
Think about that, bro.
Well, think about this too, though, Patrick. If Dr. King stood up and gave a different route instead of having integrations, create your own shit.
That's a classic
MLK,
mistake.
he was also for that, KP. Just because that's not what's pushed in our history books. MLK was very much for economic empowerment and all that stuff too. That's just not the story you get. You just get the passive side of him. So
yeah, I had a whole conversation with my brother-in-law about the passive side and what was pushed upon us, and we have to understand, man. I know KP's married to a white lady, and a lot of people have relations with a white lady, but I'm not saying them specifically, but white people in that
Pacific, man.
White people in general, they have no love for us. So we can't really take the things that they've taught us. And the
Says who? Says you?
As a culture.
Says history.
That's right, Josh.
Says history.
You don't care.
I'm just gonna let you ride with that one, man.
History tells us that.
I would say not love. I think love is the wrong word. No, love is the wrong word. I would say understanding of empathy. They don't have it at a certain level that people.
Yeah, you can't say love because that's
love
and best interest. Well,
because I think love is very.
Well,
that's an absolute statement.
They don't have our best interests at heart.
Exactly, Power.
That's a better way to put it. So we can't take everything that other people tell us and run with it like it's the gospel.
Of course, you would have a sector of white people that believe that they don't have our best interest in heart.
Bro, it's not a sector.
And provided that's because they know they are outnumbered and they know that their race is going down because it's
white
several
people
reasons.
aren't outnumbered, man. They're not outnumbered.
Hold on. Whoa. You guys
are by minority
to this really weird place.
That's a whole different path.
That starts making.
Well, what I'm saying, excuse me, sir. What I'm trying to say is that white people they already predicted that in like 2040, white people will be like 10% of the population in America, probably even the cost of the world, because they do not outnumber people of color. It's really simple.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me just quantify what you effectively just said. Not what you just said, but before. How we got into this part of the conversation. And I find it weird that my people do this. White people have no love for us. Like somehow we have a lot of love for them. Or the Chinese go around going, I wonder what Whitey is doing. Nobody thinks like that. This is crazy talk that we're going down now. Because nobody thinks like that. If people are looking at the back race and they are failing...
You keep saying nobody thinks like that, but you keep hearing people say this. So what do you mean nobody thinks like that?
Jordan, this is America. America is white and black. I don't know if you live here or not, but unfortunately...
Yes. That was my next question.
You guys going through some bullshit ass conversation.
Unfortunately, it always comes to white and black.
My man, I think is his name George?
Yes.
George, where are you located?
London.
And how long have you been in London?
Most of my life, and I lived in Florida for a while.
Okay, so I've never been to London. I've been a lot of different places, Hong Kong, Japan, all over. I've never had the pleasure of going to London. So I could not go to London and speak on anything that's going on in London, regardless if it's black, white, or anything else.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, come on
now. I can't speak on the situation because I didn't grow up predominantly in the United States. What I'm simply saying is if you replace the race with another race, and it doesn't make any sense, then you're walking down the wrong path. Because I've said this several times. People keep using white when realistically they mean the powers that be, because I will be damned if I lived in Florida and those rednecks have somehow got some power over me and telling me what the fuck to do. They didn't.
Like I said,
Yeah,
it would
man.
be it would be
I can't really get with it, man.
it
It's
would be
fucking it
it
up.
would be disrespectful for me to go to China and tell the Chinese people was. I mean, I couldn't speak to it. So that's just me. I'm not saying what you're doing is right or wrong. I'm just saying I can't speak to any other place that. I mean, I've been in America all
Why
my
would it
life,
be
so
disrespectful for you to go to China and speak about what the Chinese are doing? If the Chinese are raping children in the streets, you're just going to be like, well, let me see how much this fried rice is.
Yeah, but if you're not there to see it personally, then you don't
I
know.
said
You're
I
just talking
live
about
in Florida.
what you see on TV, basically.
He lived in the States, guys.
Jesus Christ. It's like everybody skips over this fact.
yeah, I
Because
heard him
of
say. I
an
heard him say
accent.
they live in
Okay,
Florida
it's
for a
like,
little
okay,
bit.
you guys are stepping in so much bullshit, you're not even listening to the man.
I heard him say he lived in Florida for a little bit, but like I said, I'm not gonna turn away from that. Just because you lived in Florida for a little bit does not give you the experience of a black American. That's how we got into the
Okay, can
problem
you
with
talk
Barack.
about?
Now we gotta
Can
make
you
a
speak on the
definition
atrocities?
to
Hold on
a
a second.
little
Hold on.
bit.
Hold on. Can you speak on the atrocities that happening in the Congo?
I can't exactly. That's my point. I have
You
no
saying you
idea.
can't at all?
No, I have no idea what happened in the Congo. So I'd be a
You're
fool
not
to
being
go over there and
honest
talk to
now. You're
somebody
not
that
being
lives in the
honest.
Congo.
You're not being honest at all.
I'd be a fool to go over there and talk to somebody.
Okay,
Okay, can you say about the Holocaust? Can you speak on that?
I would be a fool to talk to somebody that
Now you're
lived through
being
the.
disingenuous now.
You
Come
you
on, stop
No,
that.
you asked me a question, man. I'm
that's a
trying to
good
answer.
point. You know what, Power? That goes back to what I was saying earlier. I'm glad you brought up the Holocaust. Yeah, most of us, we are taught that, right? So we can speak on it a little, right?
Yeah.
And what's the first? Hold up. What's the first thing? Everybody's, oh man, that was horrible.
I'm not saying that.
Let us not forget exactly. But as soon as you start talking about the plight of black and white or whatever, it's like, oh no, you're crazy.
They
And
tell us to get over
My
it.
point is, if you just said, well, we could talk about that little, right?
What?
You're not even there.
Well,
So
I'm speaking for myself. I understand what happened in the Holocaust.
yes. So for
But
you to
I
sit here and say that
understand.
George can't speak on something because he doesn't live here is
I mean,
bullshit.
well, when you
No, but
own like
That's
80% of the
bullshit.
media, you can
And
pretty
the man
much
said
get
he
understand.
lived
your point
here.
across.
Let me finish what I'm saying. I understand what happened in the Holocaust.
Right.
I definitely understand that, but I can't go over to Europe anywhere and tell those people how they should react to what happened to the Holocaust.
Right.
I'd be a fool.
I understand what. Oh, I'm sorry, Parker. Go ahead.
I completely understand what happened in the Holocaust, but I can't go over there because I stayed over there for 2 years and tell them, well, you guys can't. I mean, this is what you need to do. I mean, that's crazy to me. That's disrespectful to their experience.
Wait.
That's not true, man.
Hold on. By that logic, what you're effectively saying is, if you're a successful black man and you didn't grow up like Patrick, then you are not obliged to then go and stop Patrick doing what he's doing because you did not grow up the same way as Patrick. You do realize this?
No. We're talking countries.
I
He's
do realize
talking
that
different
absolutely.
countries.
And I have never.
No, it's the same logic.
I've never.
It's not.
I have never tried to stop Patrick from what he's doing. All I have ever said from anybody on here is to say, don't judge everybody else. I can't judge anybody from what their experience is, but you can't take away everybody else's. And
There we go with the judge word again.
So, hey George, I think you're really cool and you're coming from a good space. But like, I'm not privy to everything going on in Africa. But earlier, I think it was you that said, "Oh, things in Africa are getting better." I can't speak on that. I think what Power is saying.
But hold on. That's because you personally have failed to do any research or go there. I am assuming from that statement. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just assuming from that statement. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
No, I haven't been. I haven't been to Africa. I'm just saying. Well, I've lived in London or I've lived in England, but I don't know. I wouldn't. What Power is saying is, I wouldn't go to London and go and talk to African or whatever.
That's just like George. George.
I think this. That's all he was saying.
George, that's just like
Can I finish my point, guys?
We hear this all the time from Africans and
Let her finish,
Mexico
please.
and people from all over the different people from different
I'm getting more ice cream, Felix.
groups that they come
Hey
over
guys,
here
just
and
let
tell.
Chess finish her point too, though.
Okay, let me say this right quick, and I'm gonna let her.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead,
We hear
Power. We're on
all
the same team.
But I hear all these different people come over to America from all these different groups and tell us how we should. Oh, I came over and I was able to do this, and black people need to do this. Not even recognizing or being thankful that it was the blood of African Americans that allowed you to do what the fuck you doing over here. That allowed you to even be here. So that's an insult for me to go to another country, spend 2 years over there, and tell these people that they spend all their lives and they know the ins and outs, their brothers and sisters that their lives over there, and say, oh, well, you guys do. I mean, that's an insult, man. If you don't see that disrespectful, then I don't know. I mean, the conversation is over from there, but.
Then you should find it disrespectful talking about white folks when they freed your ass.
Exactly. You are suddenly moving the goalpost to literally narrow down opinion.
So white. So let me. No, I didn't. George.
Do I ever get to finish?
No, you don't get to finish when you're saying nonsense. They when they saying white folks when they freed us from slavery, and then they started Jim Crow, and then they put crack in the neighborhood, and then they did mass incarceration. And so when are we supposed to thank them? When they finish doing all
and what else they do after that, man? Because I know they got some more shit up their sleeve. What do they do next?
Excuses. Nobody told you to smoke crack. Didn't nobody tell you to sell that shit? Like I said, you can't sit up here and tell men to stand up and be men and be accountable and be responsible, but then turn around and say, well, somebody made me do it. That's bullshit.
Somebody made me do it.
Like I said,
that's bullshit. You killing your own argument.
Like I said, I'm fine, man. If it makes you guys feel
I'm
good,
fine. He keeps saying I'm fine.
If it makes you guys feel good to hug on white people's nuts, I won't stop you. But
now we're hugging on white people's nuts because we disagree with you.
That's what I don't.
They're gonna want their
Why
nuts
do they
back.
always have to break down into insults? Yeah, hugging on white nuts.
I hate that shit. I hate that shit.
No, listen,
Somebody
guys.
else says something. You
Listen,
don't
it's a show
agree with.
about debating opinions, no insults, and basically all you're just seeing, can your opinion stand up to scrutiny?
Oh, my bad.
It's not that right. That's what the show is about. So I hate to say, anytime you say something, somebody's supposed to either say they agree or totally disagree with you. That's
Dre. We need to go on a 10-minute rampage of fuckery.
I would have.
That's the whole hangout, bro.
Listen, I want to just let you know, when somebody says the opposite of you is not to attack you, they just want to come at your opinion in different ways to see can it, hold up to scrutiny.
Can it stick? They want to invoke stickiness.
I apologize to George.
It's not. So don't take it as an insult. Take it as, okay. Well, like say you may say you need to turn around 3 times before you sit down. Well, I don't.
Well, I mean, I understand. You could tell that to children. I'm a grown ass man, so you ain't got to tell me that.
I mean, really, guys, if it's gonna go down to this,
I apologize, KP. I apologize.
You apologize.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's basically the whole show is that's why I created the premise of the show.
We have opinions.
There's never been a show online where people come, they put their opinions out there. Other people can scrutinize them or agree with them, and then you may say, well, fine, I have my opinion, but I still believe in my opinion, but my opinion's actually been a little bit altered because I've heard from other people.
Or your opinion's altered because you just don't give a fuck.
Right.
I apologize, like I said.
Right. But I'm just letting you know that's technically, because if you ever notice too, there's no shows out here like ours.
I get really passionate about
my show better.
Which is good. That's what we want.
But we want you to have that passion. Keep it where you can articulate yourself without calling people out their names or without, you know what I'm saying.
I ain't calling nobody out their name. I just said something about holding nuts, but my bad.
Right.
Holding nuts, basically you're gay.
We're not offended by it, but we just letting you know for future conversations. That's all.
My bad. But George, go ahead. I'm done, man. I'm gonna let y'all finish.
No. Listen,
you don't have to go, man.
I'm not leaving. I'm just gonna listen. I'm gonna take it all.
It wasn't a matter of you saying that. Do you want me to tell you the honest truth? What you do when you start going down that pathway? You start going for the demographic, which is the giggle factor, because our people aren't serious. Yeah, whether we like it or not, and they're not viewed as serious. So when you go for that giggle factor, you're going for that he said some funny shit, and that destroys your debate, sir, because it
No,
means you can't. No, hold on.
I don't think he was doing that though. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, do I get to finish?
go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you
Drew.
don't.
Let him finish.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that that's what you were aiming to do. And I'm not saying that you are actually that person to do that. But when you fall into that trap, sir, you begin losing the argument simply because you had to name call. That's all. It was. I don't take it as disrespect. I just look at it and I think to myself, bro, seriously, if the only thing you can say back to someone is you're grabbing onto someone's nuts, then consider that a loss.
And I would say this to you. I hear you talk a lot about the military and your experience. Pretty much I won't say every, a lot of your analogies or your examples are military based.
Correct.
Which is fine, because I was in the military. So what you're telling me about your ability to be able to speak on things of that's going on in America because you spent a couple of years here, but you spent the majority of time over there, is the equivalent of somebody speaking on something that you have a vast knowledge about, what you do about the military. I've heard you speak, and it's insulting to me. So that's why I went to the way I really.
No, sir. I can fully appreciate that. I can fully appreciate what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I misunderstand what you're saying, but what I'm simply saying is sometimes the observed can understand more than the observer can understand more than the observed because they are standing out without bias. That's all I'm saying. So I look at it from this point of view. If there is a problem and anybody can throw something into the pit to try and solve it, take it with good grace. Don't find a way to say you're invalidated, because then you may be pushing away somebody who could help you. Is that fair enough?
Great point. Great point. Great point.
I get it.
All right, Jesus, don't dead air it. Talk.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, it's personal to me, man.
No, sir. I can fully understand, because you know what? I can tell from your passion, you've probably lost people due to this, etc., etc. I fully get it, and I get where you were coming from. But the only reason I said that is because you got to take into consideration other people care about this issue. That's why they come here, black, white, orange, yellow, green, because there's somewhere along that, plus there's the hanging out and all the jokes and blah, blah. But when people are in the debate and they're working within the debate and throwing out ideas, it's because everybody is trying to calculate, trying to find a way.
Okay. Like I said, I apologize.
No.
Man, you ain't gotta apologize, bro. You passionate about what you're talking about, and that's all good.
No need, sir.
So if I'm in the wrong, I'm always gonna admit that. I'm not. I love my people, man, and I want to see us win. And we've been taking a lot of losses, and it's hard to sit on this panel and listen to other black men just pretty much berate us. That's hard to swallow.
Berate us.
I agree with you 100%, because there is a point where it gets to. This is why I didn't like so much of some of the black women bashing that has so-called bashing that has happened. There is a difference between the truth of a demographic and how wild it is getting, and then just straight up just saying black women, and just throwing them constantly under the bus. I mean, there is a massive difference between the two, because at the end of the day, black men do have a part to play in this. But as I've said before, those black men who are in this situation, who are doing these things wrong, realistically, let's be real, aren't black men, they're black boys. That's number one. A lot of them are infantile in their minds.
How does that happen when you're 20 or even 17, 18, 19, 22, you can go up the stage. How does that happen where you're still a fucking boy at that age?
No, mentally. I mean mentally.
No, mentally. That's what I'm asking you. Mentally.
Because one of the things is, and I will say this much, this seems to be something about our people in general across the board, right? No matter where I've been, for some reason we infantilize our children. We refuse to see that around 16, 17, well, even 15, they're getting older, and you need to start treating them more adult and giving them adult responsibility. Instead, what we want to do is, as a people, because we somehow, and I'm saying in general terms, please don't take this as a generality, but it seems more so than not that people seem to want to maintain control because they feel powerless, and therefore they infantilize their children to maintain control.
So are you saying that? Are you saying that as far as black women and black men, or are you equivalent it to both?
To make it balance the statement, because it's too hard to quantify it like that, I would say to a certain extent both parties are doing it, even though I can honestly say black women are doing it more than black men.
I get
because a good black man who wants his son to be a performance machine brings his son up like himself, because he doesn't want to see somebody underperform him. If you are truly a parent who understands why you have kids, the one reason you have kids is to supersede your existence, to be the faster, better, stronger, smarter version of you in your life.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
And if you understand that, then that's what you're going to make. If you don't understand that, then, well...
You're going to make some shitty shit.
Yeah, you're going to have some problems. So, you know, I think a lot of it is infantilization. I don't know whether anyone else has seen this.
So do you, let me ask you a personal, not a personal question, but let me ask you, do you think there are people that just fucked up and you cannot help them?
Yeah, unfortunately, that is what it is. No matter where you go worldwide, that's the same story.
Okay.
Worldwide, you are always going to have the fuck-ups, because that's part of the human condition.
I was just asking you that so I can figure out how because I don't understand how you can save everybody. I don't think you can.
To be fair, that is absolute arrogance and hubris to think you can save everybody. You never will.
I mean, even Superman couldn't save everybody. Okay,
I will give you a reason why I make that statement as an absolute. Islam, Buddhism, Christianity have been in control of this planet far longer than any of us can remember, and they haven't managed to do it.
Yeah, I don't think that's the expectation that you can save everybody.
I don't think. Why is that even thrown out there? I heard him say it, but I don't think that's we all know that's not sensible. So my thing was try to save somebody. You can't say no. We're not going to try to save people because you can't save everybody. That's what I was hearing earlier, and that made zero sense. You can try to save somebody or somebody. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to just do away with a whole community of people.
Right. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Yeah, you got it.
Fuck them.
and look, CKP, that was the point of contention.
KP is like my inner emotion and shit.
No, see, KP, that was the point of contention of the whole discussion, because we had some people saying F them, and some people saying, no, how you going to do that? You got to go back and help somebody.
Yes, you've got to realize, I know what you're doing, KP. You're trolling. You're trolling, bro. I see it.
KP is on the spot right now, man.
KP is the instigator. We have fallen victim to his ploys.
Yeah, KP. So what, are you now going to... Is this your version of everybody kill yourself? Just kill yourselves. Everybody. Do it now.
I'm almost there, man. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, we can save some, but others, just not.
You can say, but that's what I'm saying. Just think about it. Out of many people that you've known in your life, if someone has helped you, it wasn't a lot of people you knew. It was maybe 1 or 2 or 3 people. It wasn't a lot of people. Think about it. So if you go and help someone, you only gonna help 1, 2, or 3 people. You can't help. You can't just you can't be Oprah and shit, just going buying motherfucking schools up and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, come on, man. Like,
No.
come on.
And the more niggas kill niggas, it makes it better for us.
Boo.
You ain't gonna take them motherfuckers with you anyways. They stupid. So now I ain't gotta sit here and decide who the hell I want to help. Fuck them. Take them out of jail.
Well,
go ahead, Chess.
No. Well, yeah, you can't help everybody. I mean, I try not to use the N word. I really don't. But I understand you made your distinction between, you know, who's an N word or whatever. But I don't know.
I mean, if you can help one person, if you can help one younger person,
right,
and to help them to grow up and be a responsible person, that's good. That's very good, especially if they ain't your children. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good.
But at the end of the day, we got to remember this too. You know, we can't keep playing the victim card all the damn time.
Yeah, I agree. You can't
do
the victim shit. You can't be turning it over, turning it to green, talking about I'm a victim today, and then turning it to red.
This here gonna hit a lot of people below the belt.
Uh-oh.
If you do something and make it out of these neighborhoods, you don't owe nobody shit to go back and help any fucking body. I've never seen white folks go back and say, hey, you know what, I made it out the trailer park. You should
KP,
bullshit.
why do we, it's a human thing. We're cutting it across lines. There's nothing wrong. Just as a human, you should want to help somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, our conversation is black-white, but I mean, every community looks out for themselves.
Honestly,
do a little bit better job than we do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to, if you want to say go back, but it's nothing wrong with that.
You're right, Chess. You're right.
You know what, KP? That goes along with what you said. That's right along with what you said. You said, hey, we need to develop our own. No, that's Leslie. I'm sorry. That you're not the own community thing. My bad.
I did say that if you want.
Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, because you said
that was in our
solutions
conversation. Yeah, say if you want to do something instead of asking for integration,
right?
Start your own shit.
So that's the same thing. That's the same thing. Taking care of your own.
I got a very, very decent job that pays the bill quite nicely. But I would very much like to own my own company, and that's what I'm working on now, because I understand that I might not have a job if that company gets sold and they say fuck me. You see what I'm saying? I understand how shit works. People have to understand this shit.
I will say this much though. I think it's good for a lot of people to start their own business, but at the same time, really do your research on starting a business. Because a lot of people start a business and don't realize, number one, how much work it's going to be, and number two, how little pay in comparison to working for someone you're going to get for the first year.
But you have you can't do something without researching it, right?
No, I know, but do you want me to tell you how many... Bro, I agree with you, but you know how many people I've seen start a business and didn't do an ounce of research other than how to literally register a business? And I looked at them and I think, you have to be off your mind. Yep. But people do it all the time, especially people who look like us.
Because they're fucking idiots. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You cannot... Everything you learn in life, you learned it. So you know it. I mean, you gotta know what the fuck you're doing before you do it, right? Like, you can't just say, I'm finna go take a trip to Arizona and then just hop on the E-way and like, fuck it, I'm gonna go left.
You'd be surprised how many people will do that exact option. They will literally see bus to Arizona on it, you know, and not have any further planning. Did you bring a bottle of water? No.
End up in New York and shit. Like, what the fuck?
It's sad, but it's true. A lot of people do not prepare themselves for the road that they plan to walk along. It's weird. I find it weird, but I've seen it. And when they fall by the wayside, then they're the ones reaching up saying, help me out, brother. And I got to admit, I'll be honest, there are people who I've literally just walked on by because I look at it from this point of view. How is it that because of your bad decision making, you now want to pass your bad onto me? Because
That's like relationships, but that's just like relationships. Yep. Go ahead.
But hold on, there's a difference. I mean, oh no. I get something in a relationship. So if my wife screws up, then she gets screwed. But if someone outside of my family does that, then they're visiting the problems on my life. Haven't you noticed that positive people say, I only like positive people around me? Because they know that when they get that phone call, they're getting positivity. Everybody on this panel, everybody listening has that one person.
And you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Because
No
you know when
what
you get that one phone call and you be like, damn.
Even at Christmas,
I know it's some bullshit.
Even at Christmas, they will pick up the phone and be like, Merry Christmas. So this motherfucking turkey burnt up and blah, blah. And you'll be sitting there going, how is it Christmas and you've made this negative? Do you see what I mean? That's the kind of thing that is, and this is why I believe that there is some sort of sickness or in our community, because somehow, and yes, it's partially, I'm not going to discount history, it's partially because of our history, but it's also partially because we're not willing to address the fact that we love to bathe as a people in negativity. Bathe in it.
I hate that shit, man. I don't fuck with nobody that's talking negative shit, because that in itself is just a downer, man. It's worse than a drug in some cases, and I've been through it. It's worse than a drug in some cases to wake up one day and hear a person that you care about, you know what I'm saying, talk about, you know, just talking down shit. It's like, damn, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? But people don't talk. Like I said, it's like a taboo talk because people don't really talk about this. People don't really talk about it.
True, but I don't even know
even
why
in their
they
own
don't
family
talk about it. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's very important that if you are going to build and you are going to move forward, you have to build with people who are like-minded. Because if you don't, that negative energy is going to find a way. I call it pre-fucking. Yeah.
It's called the devil seeping.
Yeah, it's like they've literally somehow, by definition, being associated with them, already begun destroying your stuff before you've even moved off. Because that's just the way they are. But at the same time, even though you can be positive, you do need a tiny bit of negative to give you grounding and a place in reality. Because we aren't living on Planet of the Care Bears, let's be real.
What? Planet of Care Bears?
Yes, Planet of the Care Bears.
That's the first time I heard that one. I never heard that.
No, because, you know, sometimes you can be around someone who is so incredibly positive that they're not prepared for the negative when it comes along and slaps them in the face.
Oh, gotcha.
And you need that. You literally need that.
And I can admit, I've been a little negative at times. But you ever been around somebody that's like super positive, and they just fucking bring your spirits like way the fuck up? Like you feel like you go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, they're like spiritual chargers.
I'm a Care Bear.
That's why I hang around myself.
Niggly bear.
So I have a question for you, George.
Yeah.
Since you've got a little insight on the us Americans, and you lived in Florida, do you think feminism has destroyed or is destroying America?
Oh wow.
That was, you missed the first part, the first show that was.
I kind of heard the tail end of it. Do I think feminism? Okay. The honest truth is, the best way that I can break it down is feminism is altering the Western world. Because there is a demographic of anything that is going to be absolute radicals. And it doesn't matter. You could literally be a brony, and you will find the radical bronies. There is radicalism in everything, because some people literally cannot let go of an idea as just an idea. They then have to take it into idolatry, and then it becomes zealotry, and they're lost. Now, is feminism destroying America? The radicals slowly are, because they're taking information and they're mutating it to make themselves a better class or to have a better, more say, over everybody else, and it's become disproportionate. And the reason why the anti-feminism movement has grown so rapidly is because a lot of people are now detecting this on radar. Because
so you
if there
think women
wasn't
have
a
too much of a
problem,
voice? So you're saying women have too much of a voice?
it's not too much of a voice.
No, I don't think
There's
so.
nothing wrong with having a strong voice. It's what you do with that voice when you have it. So when you start creating things like manspreading and saying that's a problem, when it's like, I can tell you a very good biological reason why I have to open my legs a little, stop being ridiculous, because you're fighting for shit that is completely irrelevant. Go to the rest of the world, and I've said this before in another hangout. If you would, as the first nation in the world, the #1 power spot, actually realize what you're arguing about in comparison to the rest of the world, you look like infantile, spoiled people. And this is why I honestly think Rome is about to fall, because the hubris, the arrogance, the ridiculousness is far too high there. You cannot support this. You cannot sustain this mentality and rule. It's impossible. But to answer the question, yes, partially, but it's not the only cut. America is falling because of 1,000 cuts.
Okay, I can ride with that. Well, you heard the discussion. It was like feminism was the cause of all the ills of men.
No, I can't go that far. That's crazy. that's close to crazy.
The sad part is, George. The sad part is, George. Me and you have heard many people say.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with feminism is not the cause of all ills of men. Maybe that stuff between your legs is. We've done some stupid shit for that. That would be more than anything.
So America,
imagine how many wars.
demise.
No, but think about it. Think about it when you really think in history. How many wars have probably really been started, really because a person didn't want to look bad in front of a female? I mean, think about how many fights have just been started because a person didn't want to. No.
Well, that's the issues. That's an issue with you men and trying to fight and figure out. You can't blame that on the woman.
That's why you think I said that's our problem.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't think. You have to as you get older, you learn to control it better. But when you're young, you go through a stage where sometimes you don't think.
Okay. Look, I said a long time ago, probably a generation ago, possibly regretted saying it now. I remember saying to an ex of mine, if women realistically wanted to change the world, they could do it within one generation because they bring up all the children. I don't get what the hell the problem is. Now, a generation later, I've realized that may have been a stupid statement, because what a lot of people are not recognizing. No. Look, the problem is that people are now losing the idea that there is balance in the world. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have a nuclear family, though we know the nuclear family is the ideal for bringing up children. Not because you're trying to keep this crap going, etc., etc. It's because you're giving a sponge, a child, someone who's never been here before. Well, I don't necessarily believe that, but someone who is new and learning the rules. Yeah, you are giving them their guidelines to the current template of the planet. If you have that template from one side or the other only, expect your child to be skewed towards that template. Because what other outcome could you possibly expect? It's like when single mothers bring up children alone, you are going to get a reflection of that woman, as much as if you have a man bringing up a child alone. What the hell just happened? Oh, another Google. Yeah, Hangouts glitch. If you bring up the children only with the guy and he has daughters, she's going to be a bit more tomboyish. I don't understand why this seems to be a friggin' surprise. If you bring up a child with wolves, that child is probably going to go out and go rawr every now and then and howl
like
at the moon.
Tarzan.
Yeah, but I mean, women have been the nurturers from the beginning of time.
Of course, but there was also the example of the males that they could look to, and boys would run with the males. They would put them through a rite of passage that Josh has advertised here several times. There was always a balance, and what's happened is sooner or later somebody said, we don't need this balance anymore. I can do this all on our own. I can create humanity to be better in my image. And it's like, well, that's just arrogance. Because
well, no, I agree, and you're going back to what we always say. The problem, most problems go back to the root cause, and that's the family. Like you said, it is out of balance when a child doesn't have both parents, or a boy doesn't have his father. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we agree on that point, but
of course, and the reason why I look at it and I say the nuclear family is the ideal. It is the ideal, but because we don't want to do that anymore, then why don't we do this thing that is, if you're a single mother, you go out and you find yourself a man who's a good guy, and then say, hey, do you mind being in my son's life, etc., just as an example. You don't have to sleep with him. You don't have to get in a relationship.
Or you go and find a man named Sam.
Well, whatever, but the thing is, it's like, instead of doing that and saying, let me expose my child to these males, or if you're a father and you're bringing up your daughters alone, let me go and expose her to some women, etc., who I respect. We don't do that. We just do this thing where it's like, we'll wrap ourselves up in our own hubris and go, ha, it's okay, I'm a great parent, and not think about the child.
I would still say the same thing. Fuck feminism. Put your aprons on, get your asses in the kitchen.
Somebody needs to cook breakfast right now, though.
Get your apron on, go cook your breakfast.
I am.
Oh, you know Chess can cook.
Oh, yeah.
Chess, you're in Charleston, right?
Yep.
How do you feel about feminism?
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, other than the obvious.
You know, I'm all for it. No, no. I mean, we had a bunch of conversations, and I think feminism came out of the need for it, and I tried to remind everybody what the original intent and the definition of feminism actually is, and it was just for, equality for women along political, social, and economic lines, right? But of course, there's some people that take it to the extreme, and feminism has been used to, advance certain agendas, right? So we talked about how when you look at domestic violence rules against men and child support and all that stuff, so it has gone awry in some spots, but I think it's needed,
Yeah, but this is the reason why a lot of guys now have a problem with feminism, because, okay, feminism as a name I think is an oxymoron, but I'll let that go, right?
Feminism just means equal rights. That's all.
No, that's the idea that it's sold under, and that's a very clever ploy, because if you're trying to tell me how equal you are, how can you
make a great point.
How can you tell me how equal you are by definition of describing yourself differently? Because you surely should be called the humanist movement, because you want human rights to be equal, not just women.
Not just vaginas, yeah.
Well, look, I mean, it came out of the need for it, right? Because women weren't treated equally.
No, don't get me wrong. I understand what you're saying, right? Okay. But it's now moved on to a place where it should no longer be about female equal rights. It's about all equal rights. That should be the aim. Because when I hear a woman saying to me, feminism is about equal rights, I think to myself, but you just called it feminism. That's pointing out something and ignoring all the other diversities of humanity just to focus on women. And I just think, come on, man, that by itself is a selling point that doesn't make any sense. It's an automatic turn-off to a certain extent. But I do understand why women needed feminism and why it was originally about. What I think is a problem and has become a serious cancer to men is the fact that there are women in that demographic who are true men haters, and then feminists do not fight about it in public and say, Don't do this in my name. And that's become a problem because it's like, well, hold on, you're just part of the machine.
Okay, well, yeah, there's definitely some men haters in there, but I mean, feminism, I mean, okay, we talk about laws, right? It's the same thing like, you know, I hate to go to civil rights or whatever, civil rights, gay rights. You know, when people have to fight for equality, they have to kind of band together.
Okay, I agree, but
I mean that's where it came from, you know.
Okay,
I mean, you understand that.
Sorry. I agree, but here's where there is a massive difference. You said you Googled black men bashing black women. I found it interesting you neglected to say I Googled black women bashing black men, because I'm sure you'd find an equal amount. But that's aside. I'm just showing something, right?
I know black women bash black men.
Okay.
Why do y'all act like it's so strange when we turn around and say the same shit?
Now, hold on.
But George, okay, I'm sorry. The point I was making to the men, I was saying that I didn't find that in other groups with men, in other, you know, races with their women. That's what I was making a point of.
No. I get what you were doing. I get what you were doing, right? But my point is, if you were to Google men against feminism and then women against feminism, I bet there's a really small number in comparison to men against feminism. And the fact that that exists and there is a cancer in feminism means that that's something that women have to address. It's your group. When we as men are talking outside, the easiest way to shut us down is just call us misogynists. And you know, the honest truth is, no matter how brave a man you are, if you're a heterosexual man, your shit's gonna shut the fuck up sooner or later because you want to keep getting pussy.
And look, it all comes down to the power of the key. Look, the women rule. Okay, bottom line.
The weirdest thing is, do you want the honest truth? Any man who is secure with himself know the women rule. And that's why I find it confusing, all of this crap in the first place, because the women have pussy power, yeah? And this is why sometimes we look at feminism and it's like, but hold on a minute, we know that you can literally refuse to give us pussy. Yeah, and we'd have to go straight back to the caveman days where it would be hammering people over their head and dragging them into luxurious 4-bedroom flats. But but we're not gonna go back there, right? Because we all know that we don't want to be that person.
Keep it real, George. Keep it real.
But it was a lot easier, man. It was a lot easier.
Even George broke down and said it's the power of
But it's true, it's the power of pussy. And now what we're seeing is the power of pussy has transferred from the bedroom and it's now transferring to the legal, based on a very small demographic of women who seem to have this problem with men. And it's like, I'm not supposed to be alarmed by this? You already got pussy power. What more do you want?
But
you know, think about it.
Look, George.
I want to sit here and say that women don't control shit.
Look. So that's why you have feminism, because men would just look at women as that. So you
No, I disagree.
I had to throw that in.
Okay, look, hold on. I understand what you're saying. There is a demographic of men who just are up their own arse so firmly, yeah, that literally they kiss themselves in the mirror. I know exactly who you're talking about. When I worked in the corporate world, I couldn't stay in the corporate world because I slowly started turning into one of those people. And I was like, hello, I'm going to talk like this a little bit more because I'm a corporate wanker, you know, and I could see it coming out of me, right? And I just thought, no, I don't want to be that guy. But at the same time, those guys are going to be them no matter what, because they are quite happy to throw children on the fire to keep the furnace going. You will never change them.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said you're talking dirty, George.
Always. Come see me, girl.
He always thinks about Black Lives Matter. Turn him on.
Say that again.
Hey, I do get more love from my Vanilla brothers, though. I will say that.
What?
Because you have sense.
Your daddy black. Your daddy black.
Yes, he is.
Nah.
Whoa.
No, but it's very interesting because because there literally is no fight back from women on feminism. Men are just going to get more radical on it. It is what it is because again, think about it. Manspreading. You literally have meat and two veg, which is a physical design parameter, and then someone saying, "Why don't you close your legs like a woman?" It's a physical design thing. If you've got a real problem, ask Jesus, Allah, or Buddha. I don't care which one.
Oh wow.
Well, look here, guys. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired.
Not allowed to go to bed.
Say good night to everybody. Happy birthday to my beautiful wife, Submissive.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
All right, go in there and give her something. Go in
Yes.
there, go and get something to eat before you go to bed.
Well, I can't because fucking feminism, she won't cook now. All right, see you guys in a bit.
Look, it's her birthday. She didn't need to cook.
You let her out of the kitchen for a break.
No, you didn't get that.
She's
It's
about
her
to put this
birthday.
apron on and get her ass in this kitchen.
You hear what I said, KP? It's her birthday. She didn't need to cook that meal. So go in there and get you something to eat.
Oh, shut up. You're nasty. All right, man. I'll see you guys.
See you, KP. It's been real, y'all. I'm getting ready to make some breakfast and take a nap.
All right, good. We'll put our orders in for what we want.
Come on, Zelix. I'm waiting on Zelix to get here.
I'll be on the next flight.
All right, guys. You guys have a great day. I'm out of here.
As am I.
Nice chatting with you, George.
I'll put the link in the chat that way if anybody else wants to join. I guess I got a little bit of time left in me.
Wait, where did Power and Scooby-Doo go?
They
Hey,
dropped
have a
off.
good night, you guys. Bye-bye.
Oh, okay. Everybody dropping like flies now. Everybody, what? How dare you guys get tired?
Yeah.
Did we give you permission to get tired?
Yes. Oh wait, Pat, you back yet?
Yeah.
No, I
sleep.
mean from Brazil. Or you still there?
I'm still here. I'm
Okay.
staying until like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, cool.
What
No, I
up,
just
fellas?
wondered because we weren't seeing the brilliant background anymore. I was a bit worried.
Oh, nah.
I had to
I'm
put
straight.
my dog on camera. How y'all doing? Shout out to the married people.
Who's
All right.
talking? That's Vic. Oh, this is the infamous Victim
Yes,
movie?
the infamous Vic Damone, the one and only. Oh man, had a hat on. My hair's all pressed
Oh,
back.
they say you're like the most hated man on Black YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I got the ring. I wanted to. Can you kiss the ring when you already got one on?
No.
Look, I'm kissing the ring again. A real one. You know. But anyway,
Brother man, what's up with your hair, dog?
I had a hat on. I had the hat on, and
Oh.
you know, it's a wrap. Look, now my hair is like, white people's hair. So no offense, but that's how it is. And had a hat on, it's all laid back. Like Priest from Superfly. Look, I didn't see myself until I turned the camera on. It's like, damn, oh shit. Like,
It's like, too late now. Everybody's seen you.
yeah, it's too late.
I done that a couple times, man.
Oh man. Look, I got Snowflake has a girlfriend. He acquired a girlfriend.
Oh God.
Yes. A pit bull, a female, was just like hanging around my house. Like just running around. And every time I would go close to her, she would take off and run. So now, like after about 2 or 3 days, she started coming up on my porch. So I was like, well, shit. She on my porch, and like she didn't bother my wife, and she liked my daughter. And all of a sudden, like outside of my wife and daughter, like she tried to attack like all of my friends. So, maybe I was like, funny acting because I kind of like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was like amazing. Because just after like 72 hours, like she didn't fell in love with me. And when she started like attacking my friends, and I learned I had to put her up and shit, you know, that just made me want her even more. But like I went and found out she's about 1.5 years old. Okay, she's like 1.5 years old. And Snowflake, he won't be 5 months until until tomorrow. But they are like inseparable. They like run around. I just tied them up on the front porch. I got tired of that shit. It been driving me crazy. Letting them out, putting them back in, you know, all that other shit. One got to go out at this time, one got to go out at that time. I just threw their ass outside, Dre. Real talk, man. I was like, the hell with that. Y'all can stay on the damn porch. I'll just sit out there and look at y'all. But that's what I've been doing, man. I've been enjoying the show. I've been enjoying the last couple shows.
Appreciate you stopping by. Like
yeah, man.
Like I said, it's basically a good place to. Like I said, we do a different type of fighting over here. We fight about topics and opinions. That's kind of what we do.
Well, Andre, I've always loved you. Well, look. For those that don't know, now we live, and now they know, Dre. Now they know. I've always loved your concept, and look, remember, I was one of the first people to tell you, man. Look, I couldn't wait for you to do this right here.
All right.
I couldn't wait for you to do this right here because
you did say it first. I will admit that you did say it first. Out of all the people I knew from you back then, you said it first.
Because I said that Dre is doing something that nobody else is doing. All right, and it's popping. And it's popping, and a lot of people gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
They have already, but I mean, like I said, we're not gonna get into. Like, we don't really get into the cat fights with the other show. This, you know, I hate to say it.
Dre. Here's my thing. What other show? See, this is a show.
Right.
This is a real show.
And that's basically what we're gonna do. You know, we come up with a new topic every night and try to you know, just talk about the topic.
I mean, like, if you were in, like, you know, I don't see a competition with your show because, like I said, I don't see nobody doing debates like you doing them.
Right. Well, I mean, that's basically
like,
what it is.
In all honesty, Dre, like, you really don't have any competition. I'm sorry to say, like, there's no competition for Andre out here because in order for it to be competition, it would have to be somebody doing the exact same thing.
Hey, Vic,
like you doing.
What did you think about Vic? What did you think about the last show?
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know if y'all saw me. I was in the chat room because I got off, like, late. Because I get off at sometimes, like, 4 or 5 in the morning, as y'all see. Well, I don't know where y'all are at, but it's 6:46 where I am right now.
What do you think about the show?
Well, like I said, I've followed Dre, like, since the beginning, low-key, since the Soto You Dig. I've been down with Dre, like, since day one.
We don't say other names of shows here either, do.
Well, I wasn't trying to, Dre, right. But you know,
I just slipped up and I said it one time on the show myself.
But look, we all have a beginning. You know what I'm saying, Dre? And it's nothing to be ashamed from, you know, mentioning the beginning. But you evolve. There's an evolution point. You feel what I'm saying? You didn't stay in one gear. You changed gears and you went. I mean, you shot off to the moon. You headed. You know what I'm saying? You headed to the moon. So I mean, look. I can't do nothing but be in support and have nothing but positive things to say, because at the end of the day, I mean, what is Andre doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, y'all know how strongly I am in my damn opinions. I mean, I shouldn't have to even go there. I mean, of course, y'all know Victimhood. I do a different type of thing on my channel. I do different types of stuff on my channel. But I don't go to other people's platforms and disrespect them on their platform. Even if I'm being disrespected, I don't do that. I don't attack people like on their platform. You feel what I'm saying? I just think that's like in bad taste. If I'm coming onto your platform, I just click the button. You feel me? I just hit the button. So, you know what I'm saying? In that note, everybody should have that level of respect. If you click that button, you saying that you want to get on. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a part of the conversation. You want to take part in what's going on. Or something was said that was motivated you to speak on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's basically what it is.
So, you know, and that's like how I saw, like how you had it set up, like from day one. And not only have you had it set up since day one, you know what I'm saying, you've been consistent. That is the key thing. Consistency.
Yeah.
Like the Drake song, back to back.
Yeah.
You know? So hey, I think it's look, man, like I said, I think it's awesome. And like I said, I'm mad that I came in so late. Cause I came in, I'm like, damn, it's 5 o'clock.
Well, that's why I do it, man. Like I said, I try to be fair, like someone said in the chat room there. Try to be fair. I do admit I know a couple topics I try not to talk about because I will admit when it comes to talking about LeBron, I'm not fair for that. I know that. When it comes to talking about when it comes to talking about Jordan, I'm not fair. I mean, I do admit I still like to debate those topics, but I know like that's bad when you know yourself I'm not fair.
Hey, Dre, don't feel bad. Hey, Dre, don't feel bad, because I'm not fair when it comes to Jesus Christ. I'm not fair.
Oh, that's bad. But
hey, look, yeah, I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say it out loud. I'm not fair. Nope.
Yep. I said, like, I know when it comes to, like, you know, like, I know a couple topics I'm not fair on. Now, I do admit it's a couple topics I fight hard on. The child support system, people say, but morally I fight more hard about that. It's because it's linked to my biggest thing that I think that hurts all people. I think that when you put people in jail for the dumbest things, that's, you know, you ruin the life quality of them and all those around them. You know, because that's the problem.
Hey, Dre, I don't know. Has anybody on the platform ever been locked up? I just got to ask that question to everybody.
Oh, well, I mean, it depends on what you consider locked up. I've been, most time I've ever been.
Let me be specific. Wait, let me be specific.
Right.
You got locked up. You went inside the holding cell. You sat for 72 hours. They turned around. They dressed you out, and they gave you a cell.
Oh no, I've been locked up for 44 days.
Okay.
So
you got dressed out. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so look. You get dressed out. Look, if you're sitting in that cell for 72 hours and ain't nobody came and got you, guess what's about to happen? Okay, I just want to put that out there. Now, Dre, you know, because I've been locked up too. So, you know, sitting inside the jail and you got your charge, right? And like me, you know what I'm saying, I like when I was like 18, I don't know, I was probably like 20, 22. You know what I'm saying? I caught a dope case. I'm sitting there, right? I done caught my dope case. I have a release date. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
So you know how you could be sitting, you know what I'm saying, in a little area where everybody's sitting, chill, and play cards at. You get a conversation. Dude be like, yeah, man, what you locked up for? You know, I'm like, oh, man, I got caught up with some dope. And then you ask other dude, what you got locked up for? He said, I got locked up for child support.
Yeah.
I was selling dope on the street. I was guilty. I went to jail. I went to court and pleaded guilty. Yeah, I did what I did. You feel me? No shame. Right? But to be sitting here with this man next to me in this same prison, right? And he's looking at me telling me he's locked up for child support. Now, here's the thing I want to point it out. I had a release date. When I asked him when was he getting out, he said he didn't know.
Yep. Well, you want to hear something funny? When I was in jail, just to show you what happened, I was in jail for one of the times where they didn't even, like, they bullshit you around before they even give you a court date. So sometimes you can sit for 8-9 days. They sit there and say, oh, no, that's bullshit. You can sit for over a week, and they don't even tell you when you're going to court. And your family can't find out nothing. So literally what happened was I'm sitting there. One dude, he came in. I'd been there like 4 days already. Dude came in. Yeah, he admitted. I guess because, you know, I don't know the dope terms. They said they caught him with 40 dogs, and evidently they told me that's heroin.
Okay.
And like 4 bands. I guess that's $4,000. Yep. And this motherfucker.
Go.
Right, and this motherfucker got out before me. I said, he's the fucking dope boy.
Hey,
I'm just broke.
The scary part of that story is I was talking to a white man, okay? I was talking to a white man, that had been staring at me for 90 days, Dre. He had been locked up, right? And for those that know about Gwinnett County, Georgia, Gwinnett County, Georgia got a little place known as the Chain Gang. Anybody in Georgia knows what that is. Look, if you're watching the broadcast, you know what that is.
Right.
So he's in the Chain Gang. They transferred him out of the county jail into the Chain Gang. He didn't go to court, Dre.
Wow.
And he had been in the Chain Gang for 90 days. Over child support, y'all. Y'all ain't feeling me.
No, what got me, like when you sit there and hear stuff like that, and you be like, what? And then it's like, well, wait a minute. These people have committed crimes, are drug dealers, or whatever.
They have violent. It's either violent or non-violent. That's probably like the simplest way you could say it.
Right, right. I mean,
you got violent criminals and you got non-violent criminals. You feel what I'm saying? That's how the law look at it.
Right.
But child support is considered a non-violent crime.
Right.
And nobody is looking at that as far as when it comes to you going to jail over child support. You can do numbers. They could lose you in the system. Don't let them be backed up on other child support cases. Guess what? You might not get there in 8 or 9 days.
Right. Oh, yeah. I've seen people that sit down there 12, 13 days before that. You know what I mean? Because I've been locked up more than one time for it. And every time you get behind, you get locked up.
And look, can y'all imagine? Look, everybody, you know, including myself, right? We ain't living with our mamas. We ain't staying with our aunties.
All right. But it
Do
don't
you
matter.
follow me? If you fuck around and get locked up over child support, and don't tell me you got a job, and you getting locked up over child support, guess what? That's a no call, no show. Your life is over.
Well, I remember I told you when I was down there for child support. There was a gentleman who he was working. He was working at a department store, so he wasn't making too much money anyway. He was working there, and if he wasn't in there with me, and his case was right there before me, and he had his paperwork and all that shit, I would have never had believed him, because we were like in the courtroom, so that basically you have all your paperwork and you can see. The man had stopped working for like 2.5 weeks. Evidently, his baby mama had called and complained, this, that, and the other. He had open heart surgery. You could see his chest all cut up, still wearing a bat when they pulled him in there. So we go to court. I go to court first. I sit there, so I go to my thing. They say, oh, boom, give him 10 days. They gave me 15 days that time. Okay, he goes to court and all this, and he says, well, yeah, Your Honor. And she's like, when did you stop working? He said, well, I stopped working 3 weeks ago because I had open heart surgery. I fell out at the job. He's like, well, how'd you get caught? He said, well, I was in a car driving, and evidently the warrant flagged that, I hadn't paid child support in a month and that, and He said, well, I've got my paperwork. Here's the paperwork from my doctor. I'm cleared to go back to work Thursday. This was Monday. The judge looked at him and said, but you haven't paid your child support. He said, well, I was working. I fell out. I had a damn near heart attack. You can see, here's my paperwork from the doctor. Here's the mark. You can see they cut my chest open. He said, you should have had money put aside before you got sick. 15 days.
Oh, see?
I was just like, I looked at, when the judge did that to him, I looked at the judge and I said, I just looked at him like, man, if somebody was standing outside, they should just kill your ass, because that's just fucking heartless. The dude fell out and almost died at work. So it ain't like he was, got paperwork. Look, dude, I'm cleared to go back to work on Thursday. He said, well, you should have had money set aside before you got sick. 15 days. I would have been like, man, I'm just letting you know. Somebody would have been standing outside waiting on your ass. But see, like in our court system, the judges and shit, they got like secure parking and shit. I've seen them a couple times when they come out of there, because they know them judges can get their ass whipped for that shit.
And it's so funny. These judges try to act like they don't have any children. And for those that are men, like okay, there's a brother at my job, right? And he's paying child support, right? And they tried to cut his days. So, you know, me being the Jesus follower that I am, what you think I did, Dre?
I don't know.
Gave him a day. Gave him one of my days. Everybody at the job looking at me in shock. Right? Because I know what that brother going through. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm team Jesus. Jesus already take care of me.
Well, when I was working at Dick's, like I told you, I was working there. I was working 40 hours a week, even though I was only cleared to work by my doctor. I was only cleared to work 27 after my surgery. But I worked 40 anyway.
Right.
And I told him, I said, I got to work 40. If I don't work 40, I ain't going to see no money. Ain't no point in coming to work. So I was, after child support and everything, I brought home anywhere between like $70 and $90. I never broke really $100 a week. I mean, and what's so bad, literally each month I'm going deeper and deeper in the hole, because with the maximum they can take is 65%, but I wasn't making enough to pay so basically you're still going in the hole every week. So it's like, you know, you get so tired of fighting them, you know, like I'll tell you on my shit right there, my shit's all fucked up. I just let them, I let it get too high. I just got tired of fighting them. I got tired of going down. It's depressing. You know, it's like you want to go down there and just be like, you know what? And it's like sometimes.
Hey, man, look, you know, hey Dre, you know, when people tell me that Satan is not real, I say, like, how do y'all like not see this shit, man? Like, how do y'all not see this evil affecting like all of these men on a genocidal level? Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's not. I'm just like, you know, like this, and they sit up there and talk. What do? You go down there, they treat you like shit. I mean, I asked for an adjustment twice. The woman told me down there, well, I ain't doing the paperwork. What the fuck? How the hell you know, it's against the law for you. Now, I've never had an adjustment. I ain't doing the paperwork. I don't feel like it.
Look, do y'all realize?
I looked at like, you don't feel like doing the paperwork? I wish I would tell somebody at my job I don't feel like doing it. That's like you going to McDonald's and a motherfucker say like, I don't feel like making your Big Mac.
And you know what? I mean, I tell you, you know, look, people like say it like this, man, and I guess I can say it like you know, directly like this. Like, Satan don't give a fuck if you believe in Jesus Christ and God or not. Satan's only job is to make you hate the world, hate the system, hate the woman that you had your child with. Okay, that is his design, and the way he controls you with that is through the money, man. It's through the motherfucking money.
Well,
because the money is something that we need to live.
Right.
And all of this shit and look, Satan is not just attacking you know, people that like Christians. Satan's attacking good, regular people, people.
I'm like this. Like, there's a person in the chat with Tyra sitting there saying, well, they'll change the jail to do the jail time and all that for that. I don't think they'll change that. And unless they get rid of private prisons, and they want to say we will get rid of them all across the board, and they want to stop making it to where any little thing they can put a person in jail. Because the problem is this: the child support people, or people with driving infractions, people like that, criminals like that are the best criminals to have in the system, because one, most of them want to do their time and get the fuck out. So they're very easy to watch. They're not, you know what I mean, they're not problem criminals. They do what they're told. You know, you want people like that because you know that, hey, these motherfuckers going to do what they're supposed to do. They're going to come eat, sit here, and be quiet. That, you know, so why would they change the law to hold people like that?
And there was a guy that was talking earlier, and he was talking about how a child needs both a mother and a father in their life, because if they just have, like, if a son just has a mother, then he will take on those female traits and vice versa.
Of course.
and I totally agree with him on that. And see, that's a part of the trap. Okay, in a Christian term, it's the tree basically, and the serpent is child support. Let me explain what I mean by that. See, women, you women that go down and put these men on child support. See, that right there is, you know, the trap is the apple. Or
I'm gonna tell you like this is, even though we can sit here and blame the women on that, and I know people.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. That's what I said. Let me explain. Child support to a woman is designed to say, well, okay, even though I've been with this guy all this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been with him all this time. We've been living together. He's been paying the rent. Everything's cool, right? It's food in the house. You want a drink? I got you. We've been going out. All this, right? Now the baby comes, and all of a sudden, the woman don't trust you no more. She got to go to this government office to get money from you, even though she's sitting right next to you. This is a trap. This is a trick. It's no different than the Bible. See, what women have to realize is if you have a good man, okay, and you're already, per se, if you're in a relationship and you and your man are close and you already have access to the money, why the fuck do you need a third party now to get access to money you had access to already? I don't understand this. See, the whole design of this is a generational thing. Mothers and grandmothers, everybody tells the woman, you need to go put him down on child support, girl. You need to go put him down on child support, girl. Ladies, do you realize if your man is working, it only takes 72 hours for this man to lose his job, not be able to pay for the house, no longer have money, okay? And you have the nerve to look back at him and say, why you ain't got no bread? And you don't realize that you've been tricked? This is the thing that I'm talking about, Dre. The element of the trickery in this system that is designed to affect all men, black, white, Chinese, inside of America. This is something that is set up to attack every man that decides to bring life into this world. Does that make sense to anybody?
No, the only reason why they're doing it, though, the child support system is really not really about helping the kids or nothing. It's about them imposing another law to where they can think about it, they win both ways. If you pay, they get a fee because you pay a fee just to be in the system to pay child support. If you don't pay, they get to lock you up, and then they get paid for locking you up. So I mean, it's a way to tax people and get fees. That's just what it is.
And ladies, look, y'all can say what y'all want about me, ladies. I mean, I put it to you like this. Me and my wife, we've been together 9 years. Okay? When they sent my wife those child support, when they sent my wife the child support papers, because me and Vivi popped out in the world 6 months before we got married. Okay? She ripped them motherfuckers up, ladies. And for those people that follow me on YouTube, y'all know that my wife is still my motherfucking wife. So I guess I got to be doing something right. I think she has access to the money already. She doesn't need a third party when she's looking me in my face. Maybe I would have to be a piece of shit nigga. Then she would have to go. I can understand if she was all a piece of shit nigga, she had to go down there. But the majority of these men that are working, that are sitting up here trying to fight this child support, y'all ladies need to really stop this shit. Like, seriously. That's all I'm saying. Y'all need to put an end to
this is the problem, too. One of the things is this. The women have become unwilling participants.
They brainwashed.
No, I wouldn't even say that. This is what they do. For them to get their benefits, and what they always do, they don't never say they money. They always say health care for the child, say if they can't afford it. They got to make sure, you got to make sure that the father's on child support. They don't never say, to get your food stamps. They always say health care, because what has happened if the kid gets sick? Women are emotional, this, that, and the other, and then they don't realize.
I got one better for you. And look, and fellas, we're going to test Judge Dre right now. Andre, Who tells the woman to put the man on child support? Who tells her that?
Usually they friend.
No.
Or their mother.
No.
What do you mean? Who tells the woman?
You know who tells the woman to put that man on child support?
The government.
The mother.
Yeah, that's what I said. They friend or their mother.
The mother. Wait a minute. The mother of the woman.
Right.
So basically, when you have a child with a woman, the first person that's going to be against you is baby mama's mama.
Of course. That's how they always are.
She's going to be the one to push the element of child support.
Right.
Nobody else.
Right.
Child support is a decision.
But nowadays, though, this is if you need health care or if the woman needs anything, if they get like if they get any form of help from anything, they have to have the father on child support. Now, one of the things they changed.
Trey, how my wife do it for 5 years without child support? Think about it.
She probably lied and told him she didn't know who the baby daddy was. That's the only way you can get away with it.
Well, no. Like I said, they sent the papers. She ripped them up. They didn't call her no more.
Was she getting any? Was she getting any welfare or anything?
Well, look. Okay. Well, yeah. You know when the babies first pop out, yeah, they give you all that free shit, of course. And then they send you that letter. You know the letter. The letter says this: "Hi, we're the government. We've been giving you all this free shit. We know that basically, your baby got a daddy. So if you want to continue to get your free shit, okay?
Right.
You need to give up that Social Security number. That's what we need." My wife looked at that paper and ripped it the fuck up, Dre.
Well, that's what.
For some odd strange reason, my daughter was 6 months old when she ripped that paper up.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is about to start school. She's 5 now. So somehow, Dre, you know, with my wife trusting me, somehow my daughter went 5 years without child support. Somehow, ladies, somehow my daughter went 5 whole years and she didn't need child. And that must be astonishing to these women that got these men on child support right now. Somehow she didn't need it. I did all types of dumbass videos, Dre. I must admit. I've done all types of dumbass videos. People know about my wife. They know I'm married. And somehow she did all this shit. All right? Without child support. Amazing, isn't it, Dre? Amazing. That's amazing. To see a woman go 5 years without no money. You know who else wasn't on child support?
What's that?
Me. Hold up, me.
Oh, yeah.
My mother and father divorced when I was 12 years old. I was born and raised in East Orange, New Jersey. I keep trying to tell people I was going to Six Flags, Atlantic City. I've been to New York ever since I was 5. Hell, Virginia, Miami. I did all of this without child support. Isn't that amazing? My mother didn't need no motherfucking child support and divorced. My father died when I was 12. So she really didn't have no child support. Look, you feel me?
I feel it.
He was dead and buried in the ground. What? How did this happen? How did I live, Dre? Oh my God, how did I live? Oh, so these. I guess I'm just a special case, you know, to live without child support. You know? Damn. If I think about it, my sister, nope, she didn't have child. And me and my sister got different daddies. She didn't have child support either, Dre. Damn.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. My mom put my father on child support.
See, that's that. Hey, look, that come from that conversation from Grandma. Look.
I hate to say something. My grandmother never said nothing like that. I will say that. My grandmother, I think what it was, I think it was more of her friends than anything. Now that I look back on it as I got older, you know. But
Oh, Blake, stop. There. Go ahead and sit down. I ain't looking at you. Oh man, I'm telling you, man, and that's the thing.
right, and that's
It's
why
like
Mendel,
women.
here's something Mendel just said. She said, in my state, if a woman applies for welfare and she does not list the father, she does not get it. And that's true. That's what they do here. Any type of government handout, you get anything. A can of paint, whatever. If you don't list the father, they don't give you nothing. Like literally, my oldest son.
It's Satan. I tell you, that's Satan. What's
Well,
Satan
my
do?
oldest son, she didn't put him child support. Didn't really make her put me on child support till he was 14.
See?
Then
And what you had to do? Pay that back money.
Yeah. And that's
Pay
why
that
she even said, no, he's always been in his son's life. Literally, like most, they made us do a DNA test. And I told him, I said, I don't need, well, you got a paper in the mail you could have signed. I said, I never remember getting the paper. Maybe y'all sent it to the wrong address. So I get down there. I said, I got down there early. I said, why do we got to do this shit? I mean, as soon as my son walk in here, he looks exactly like me.
Right.
So, I mean, what? I told him I spent time with my son. Matter of fact, he was just with me 2 days ago. So he walked in, hey, Dad, how you doing? What's going on? I told him, I said, son, I'm just letting you know. They doing this. I even taught these dumbass motherfuckers doing this here. I already said, you are my son, and they don't need to do this shit. But they say that they got to do this test here. He said, oh, no problem, Dad. He said, I understand.
This is crazy. That's insane.
Boy, 14 years old. Look just like
you. Y'all can't convince me, look, that is Satan going after the woman, the government. Y'all can't convince me. Because, see, look, Satan ain't going to step to no man. He going to step to a woman. No offense, ladies. And that's how he do. He offer you money. He give you food. He give you all this shit. And then in that 6 months to 8 months time, he send you that letter to tell you your man ain't shit. And you believe that motherfucker. Just like that. Just like that. Y'all get a letter from the government saying your man ain't shit. And you say, you know what? You right. Let me sign this motherfucker. And there it is. The end of your relationship. There it is. The end. Amazing. Utterly amazing. Utterly amazing.
Basically, it's just another form of control for them to collect money on fees. That's all that shit is.
Once again, look, that's why your boy Victor Moan don't vote. Fuck the system. I don't get down.
You don't vote at all? You don't vote at all?
Nope.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Hey, look, agree or disagree. Everybody knows for over 2 years I was telling people Donald Trump was going to be the president of the United States, and look at his ass now. I didn't have to vote to tell y'all that. That is evil by design. You can't, you can't get around stuff like that.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm one of those ones where it don't matter because it's like whichever one we get it off is both of them will fuck us over. I mean, I think it's window dressing. You know what I mean? It's just whatever. It's like the window faces the same way out the house and in the same room. It just matters did you paint it white or did you paint it beige? The color of the window don't change what's on the other side of it.
Trump's not going to win the presidency. He wasn't meant to win the presidency.
So what?
Well, of course. Hey, look, everybody.
Trump wasn't meant to win the presidency. He was to exploit a certain part of America to separate. He wasn't meant to win the presidency at all. Hillary was chosen to win the presidency years ago.
Well, look, don't get mad when you see that funny-haired motherfucker walking across the field.
I mean, I'm not. They don't affect me.
I would agree with y'all if I didn't see David Duke standing behind Donald Trump. I would agree with all of you. If I didn't see if David Duke was standing behind Hillary Clinton, I'd say, oh, she about to win. Honestly, if David Duke was standing behind Hillary, I'd say she is about to win. But you got Donald Trump. He's flaunting off corporate America in front of all of you. literally saying that, hey, I'm about to buy my way into the White House. I'm about to buy my way into the White House, and look, guess what? Nobody's going to stop me. The one thing that really turned me off from voting, because I'm 38, is John Kerry, George Bush. Everybody remembers that because we didn't have social media and YouTube and all that crap back then. Regular old TV. We got live streams, on TV, LCD style. Okay? 2 TVs. And John Kerry won the election. And in the middle of him winning the election, they said, hold on one second. Don't play. George Bush just won the election. He said, hold on, wait, what? Everybody voted for John Kerry. America spoke out and said, no. Who voted for Bush? Who voted for Bush? Nobody. But somehow, Florida, they miscounted. The governor, the same guy that just so happened to be related to George Bush. Now, George Bush, you know what he did? You know what I'm saying? To really, get attention off him. Everybody knows about 9/11. Now he looks like a good guy. Now he's a hero. Oh shit, the terrorists just hit the Twin Towers. Let me put on my Superman cape. Later on, I learned that John Kerry and George Bush, they were fraternity brothers.
Oh, wow.
At Skull and Bones at Yale. You can look that up. That's an actual fact. So I said to myself, well, damn, if these cats were frat brothers, did it really matter who was going to win the regardless, even that we got Democrats and Republicans. These guys were frat brothers.
Well, if you pay attention to any of that too, when you dig deep enough, you see that damn near some of these, people at some of these companies, they back both politicians.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck?
Come on. Are y'all not paying attention? This is
are we gonna fuck you from the left or fuck you from the right? That's basically.
Right. And you know what? No one, think about it. No president in history has fixed America. Right. I love these speeches. These presidents have come in, vote for me because you know what? We're going to make jobs. We're going to raise the economy. We're going to raise minimum wage. We're going to raise all this shit. If you're paying, $200,000 in taxes, we're going to knock that shit down to $2, okay? Gas will be 50 cents again. It'll be back in America. And they get to talking this shit. Motherfucker sitting there cheering like a motherfucker. Yeah, he going to do it.
Oh, shit. Somebody said next first LGBT gay. Oh, hell no.
Oh, look. And
I
then
can picture that.
And then
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Be honest, I'd rather watch wrestling. I swear, I'd rather watch wrestling. Look.
Damn.
At least I know that's fake. If they hurt themselves, it was an accident. But you know what I'm saying?
You got something to say, Tony?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say something. Hello, Mr. Victimhood. I just wanted to say something. When I had my son at the hospital, the first person that mentioned child support to me was the social worker that came into the maternity ward at the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
They have social workers go into the maternity ward and talk to all the mothers. And when you say, no, that's okay, I don't, they'll say, are you married? Do you need to apply for services? You say, no, I'm good. And then they'll come back and they'll ask you again tomorrow. And then they'll ask you when the father of your child isn't there and take you aside and kind of say, well, if you're not married, you should really put him on child support because there's no guarantee. So that's the first person. And I live in California. I don't know if they do that everywhere. I just wanted to mention that.
That's true.
As long as we good, Tony.
That's true, though.
I don't have
you
my
can't talk
son's
to her,
father.
Patrick. I'm talking to her. Nah, smart ass.
My son's father is not on child support through the government.
That she's my girlfriend. I claimed her first.
Hey, look, that's funny. Look, you said they
Mm.
claimed
I don't even know her last name, but I claimed her.
Tony,
that's hilarious.
We have a
Tony,
In the room, all
I
you.
have a
Is it
question.
true, Tony?
we have a cyber relationship only.
What? Patrick?
You can't get pregnant that way.
Is this true?
No. You know
Tony, I have a
better.
question. Tony, I have a question for you.
Yes,
Is the
Eric.
father of your child is the father of your child his child's life at all?
In his life?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in his life.
Oh, okay.
We were together for about maybe just under 5 years after he was born. And when we broke up, we had some rough patches, but our son didn't really know about it. He just knew we didn't live together anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, I got like.
So look, because I just wanted to ask you. So basically your your ex your child's father is in your child's actively in your child's life. Yes.
Yeah. He
Okay.
sees him every week or every other week if schedule doesn't permit. He calls him. You know, I still talk about his dad to him, you know, in a good way. I don't want him to have a bad idea of his father. My family doesn't do that. I have to remind them that they won't see my son anymore if they talk poorly about his father.
Yeah, because
yeah.
that's the thing, you know, when family. Because the thing about it is, I always will have an optimistic view of family, including extended family members, especially in children's lives. But at the same time, I also realize I have to check myself all the time, being realistic, that family members and extended family members can be the ruin of a child's life as well.
They could.
When they make life chaotic for
They
the two
do.
people who have the child. Yeah.
Well, even for my family, I had to constantly remind them that my son's father and me are the most important, not anybody else, regardless of if we were together or not.
Well, I'm glad that you do that, because
Yeah.
for the number of women like you who do that, women and men who do that, whether they're married or not, if they have a child together and both parents are active in the child's lives, even though they don't live in the same domicile, I think that the other family members ultimately don't have anything to say about it, because you got two adults. If you got two adults dealing with that situation, then I think the two adults have to deal with how they're going to guide the development of their child, and how, you know, and their relationship as parents and adults between one another. Okay, and how that reflects from them towards their child. Okay, so there's no fusion from outside.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not my place. It's not my place to tell my son he doesn't get to have a dad just because we didn't work out. That's his dad. That's his father. So that's not. That was never an option.
Yeah, I wish more people would think like that, because ultimately, to me, it goes both ways. The thing about it is that what I don't like, though, is this idea of these oops babies, because when you have these oops babies, those babies, when they grow up, they're the ones that suffer, you know, because of the two adults that brought them into this world, and basically the adults have screwed up their lives, so they can't help but to send that confusion and dissension. They can't help but to transmit it to their child, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you talk about the child support system, the courts, and everything else like that, how does that work to the benefit of the child? If anything, the only way it works, and the only way that it would work to the benefit of the child is financial and material. And then when you
Yeah,
find
but
out that, in fact, that it doesn't work that way. It's not about the child's financial and material benefit, but the woman, for example, okay, who has a child and decides that, okay, well, I'm going to have this child, but you know, that ain't shit, man. He ain't got nothing. He didn't have nothing when I met him, and I mean, come on, this is bullshit. Okay, if you know he ain't, if you know that he's an ain't shit man, don't allow him to get you pregnant. Okay. At the same time, though, on the flip side, though, if the man knows that he's dealing with an ain't shit woman, then don't impregnate him. I mean,
yeah,
come on,
yeah,
I mean, come on, it's not rocket science. I
Well,
mean,
I don't
both
know
sides,
about that. I don't know about
both sides. Well, what I'm saying is this: both sides have to equitably control their libido, control their sex impulse. This is what I'm saying. We all know he got it.
yeah.
That's
We
obvious
can
that
make better
both
choices.
sides, both sides got it. Control that shit. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
can't
make better choices.
you can't lose control and then make an excuse for it. You can't.
Yeah.
Because when
If you know,
you in a go ahead, Eric.
well, now I'm just saying, if you know anything about basic biology and sexual reproduction, you know what's happening. Okay? There's no excuse. Once you have the knowledge, you can't feign ignorance. Therefore, you can't make an excuse for it.
That's what I tell
That's
people, Eric. You know when a penis enters a vagina, there's a chance that a baby may come out 9 months later. Like, you know that.
And both sides they could know this, unless you're talking about you got two people that have never been to school. They have never learned the basis of sexual reproduction. They
Right.
have they're totally oblivious to it. If that's the case, then they shouldn't be having sex in the first place. They should be restricted until they do know the process of sexual reproduction. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I
go
just
on.
wanted to.
Yeah, I
Oh
got
no, I just wanted to come in and say that I'm gonna go to sleep. I just
Okay.
wanted to throw
Girl,
that
look,
out
man,
there.
I wish I could. I wish I could go to sleep. I got so much to do. You know, I got these two animals outside on the porch. Snowflake
Right.
trying to escape. I didn't tell you the name of the girl. My daughter named the other pit bull. All right, you ready for this one, Andre?
It's
Y'all thought,
Elsa.
y'all thought Snowflake was bad. No.
bicycle?
No. Look, I'm gonna go well beyond the range of the universe.
Sunshine.
No, look, see how y'all coming up with these two-syllable names? She is a 5-year-old in 2016.
Oh
She's a
no.
5-year-old in 2016. She named the girl Twilight Sparkle.
What?
Yes,
That must be a kid on a cartoon or something.
Twilight Sparkle is one of the My Little Pony characters. I really tried to convince her to name her something else, and she would look. I said, okay, you got to name the girl, baby. She looked outside. She said, Twilight Sparkle. I was like, what? How did I give her that responsibility? Oh, you know what I'm saying? I said, don't you want to change it to something simple? She's like, nope. I said, are you going to remember that? She's like, yep. I said,
See, y'all better than me. I don't try y'all motherfuckers get the damn dogs. I don't know. Look, I got a kid to feed. I don't want another motherfucker to feed. Damn. Literally, why would you get a? I don't understand why do people get this. Especially get them dogs to get big.
oh, I want them to get big. I'm preparing. You know what I'm preparing for? I'm preparing for war. You know what I'm preparing for? I'm preparing for war. See, I know, look, parents don't like to admit this with their teenage girls, but if you got a teenage girl, sometimes you get that cell phone and she might try you. She just might try you. You know, I'm not gonna act like, you know, shit don't go on in my family, and you shouldn't act like it don't go on in yours, right? So here's my logic on this, Dre. When my daughter gets to that teenage stage, and she think that when I step away from this house, that she try to bring one of these little ragtag niggas up in my shit. See, you know, Twilight Sparkle and Snowflake gonna be waiting on them niggas, man. She ain't gonna be able to stop them. It's gonna be an incident. I'm gonna be well known, like, oh no, you don't want to go to his house. He got them damn dogs in there. Absolutely, absolutely. People like, we kick it at my house. They're gonna be like, nah, we ain't going over there. Oh yeah.
You say that now, but I'll tell you from experience, these kids is something, man. I remember the little girl across the street. That she came over and knocked on the door one day. This was about three years ago. She said, "There's Calvin home," and like we looked at it, I want him to come outside and play with me. Just look, because his mother just happened to be there, and she come look. She's like, "Oh yeah," because see, Calvin, I noticed he just now really started paying attention to women. He was always like he was behind on that. What I say like that. I'm like, I always pay attention because I spy on him. So basically, I can tell by what he's looking at if he's noticing women. And it's like, I'm like, and then I'm like, yeah, ain't nobody ain't no girl say no mess like that unless she like him. That's when I had to reinstate the rules about you're not allowed to go in nobody's house. Now, when he was younger, I lied and said you can't go in nobody's house because they might say you stole something and you didn't, and you can go to jail. But the reason why you don't go in nobody's house is because I want to make sure that y'all ain't thinking about doing nothing like that.
Absolutely.
Right. You can't go in nobody's house.
Right.
That helps cut it down.
I bid you farewell. Have a good night. Good morning.
All right, Tony.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Okay, good night. Take care, Tony.
All
Good
right.
night, Patrick.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Barking like he crazy. That's the first time. Look, this is the first time I done tied him outside and left his ass out there. So he's going through it right now. He get over it.
I mean, we can stay on the air, but let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show here. I want to thank you guys for coming out and watching the show. This is episode 21 of Debating Woes. I want you to like, share, subscribe, and definitely donate to the show because that's what keeps the show rolling. And we'll see you on the flip side. Say goodbye, everybody.
Deuces.
Later.
Later.